Hi Raghav.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, your voice is very much audible.
Okay.
Do you remember in your previous training how custom master data would be created?
I'm sorry?
As per your previous training, you know how to create a customer master in SAP, right?
Customer master in
Yeah.
SAP.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't. What's the code that we use?
SD01 or FD01.
I haven't practiced for.
Okay, I'll show that how it's to be created as a first step. Because you're supposed to know that how the customer master data will be created. Okay? These are account groups. Account groups typically says that what type of customer and what number rise we want to use. It will tell you. Okay, now let us see. We will create a customer general. Do you see that as this way? One-time customer, regular customer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we do is we go for customer general.
What is that noise? Do you get the?
This is how it comes when SAP execute the transactions. Do you see the message in the bottom? So when it reads the message in the bottom, it will give that beep sound. So if you want to disable it,
Do you hear background noise?
I'll tell you why I'm creating this one.
Okay.
So, these guys, they have interfaced with this SAP system with the Vertex. Okay, they activated it, but they have not set up any interfaces. That's the reason it's giving an error. Let us see the existing one. You know Vertex, what is Vertex? Manisha, are you there?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I am here. Is there someone else on the phone too?
Sorry, it was an, a disabled audio. That's the reason you're not able to hear. Sorry. The reason is you said that you don't want to hear the noise. So
Okay.
it happens. Okay, that's fine. What we'll do is let us see the existing customer master. Well, this is how you create a customer master in SAP. Okay, you have three data: address, control data, payment transactions. And at company code level, you have account management, payment transaction, correspondence, and insurance. Okay, so this is basically the customer master will be created at two levels. One is centrally, means within FI as well as SD combination. It's exclusively can be created in FI. Okay, when you created FI, you will create this customer general. Customer general means the same customer can be extended to any company code. Okay, if you create it, it will create it at 3 tabs level. Okay. But whereas when you have a company code, you have additional information like account management, payment transaction, correspondence, insurance. Well, the structure of customer master is created in such a way. Suppose you have a customer, you have a company in US as well as in Canada, and same customer will purchase material from your Canada and US. For that, what we do is you create one customer in general data. Okay, create one customer, it will be a general data. Then you can extend that customer to different company codes. You see this company code. So in US you can use one different reconciliation account. In UK you can, in Canada you can use a different company code, but the customer number is the same and unique. Otherwise, what happens if you go ahead?
Do you give the different company code or just the reconciliation account different?
No, reconciliation account will be different as well as the company code will also be different. The reason is, the reason is you are you're having two different company codes. One is for Canada, other one is US.
Right.
Both will be under the same umbrella. The management is the same, but you have two different countries where they are doing the business. For each country, you will extend that customer to that company code.
Okay.
Okay. So that's how it goes. That is how it's being structured. So that what happens is you don't have to create a separate number, customer number for Canada, separate customer number for US. Okay. Customer number will be same, but you can extend it to different company codes. In case of US, if they want to see the customer, 3466, what did he purchase, how much he paid for us. The US people can see that for the same customer, but US company code. Similarly for Canada, the business who is in Canada, they can execute the same customer, but Canada company code. Okay, but whereas at a corporate, wherever it is, let's assume that your corporate office in London, they want to see from the customer how much is due, how much did he purchase. They want to see for all the company codes. Then what they do is they don't select any company code when they run the report. I think you are aware of what the report is for. There's a report called FDL 5N.
Okay. FDL 5N is open items.
Right, customer line item or open item. You can see both line item and open item, cleared items. Both
cleared items.
Both you can see. Okay, do you see that here? You have to range, you have company code range. So for the same customer, you can give the company code range that you want to see what is its total amount to the corporate. Or as the company code, irrespective of your Canada and US. So if they run this report, they can get the information of the customer irrespective of the company code. That is the beauty of this SAP. Okay. Anyway, so the only thing what I mean to say is that how this customer master is being designed.
Okay.
Okay. The payment transactions. See, the data which is there at company code level can be different for the reason you are doing it at company code level. Whereas the general data address control payment transaction will be the same across your client or across your business. Okay. Now coming to these additional data entries, additional data DSD, sales area information, data invoice summary Japan, these are all your SD level, sales and distribution level.
Okay.
See, this customer you created FD03, right? You can create the same customer using XD03. In case of XD03, what you will have is, you will have sales organization. I'm not sure whether they created sales organization. Marketing, and you also get some sales organization data. These are your sales related data, but I'm not sure what sales organization they give, but we can check it. But indeed, we don't need that information. What sales organization data they are maintaining for this particular customer. Not different for this customer. The reason why I'm looking into this particular customer master is basic for us before we go to FSCM credit management. This one we need to find out from the org structure what customer they gave for sales organization they defined. If you want to do that, you can find it from enterprise structure, definition, sales and distribution, define, this is for define, then we'll have an assignment also. Let us see the assignment, sales and distribution, assignment of sales organization to company code. So 1000 what they did, company code 1000, they have 1000 sales organization. Okay. So distribution channel and sales organization. Okay, they use 10, 12, 14, 16. See, basically you can look at the marketing information. You will also get a sales data, but I will find out, I don't want to waste your time, I will find out the combination for each customer they maintain that. Then I will let you know in this next session. Okay?
Okay.
I have to see the config when who built the system. They might have done it for this customer to something else. Also, I need to check that why they connected the vertex. Do you see that you have seen the first error message vertex is there? I think you are also supposed to know that what this vertex is. Let me tell you what is vertex. You see this vertex?
Yeah, communication error.
Yeah, communication with the vertex system means this is an IDES. This is an IDES system. IDES system is in a demo system. Somebody tried to interface this SAP system with a third-party system called Vertex. Vertex and TaxPayer are two different third-party systems that is used in US to determine the sales tax as output tax as well as the input tax. Output tax is nothing but your sales tax. Input tax is nothing but your in purchase tax, as well as the use tax also. They will be calculated outside the system. That is the third-party system. Then they integrate that with the SAP. So what SAP does is, using the tax code, it will go and get appropriate rate in the Vertex system, and the Vertex system, it will calculate their money, the tax amount, and send it back to SAP. Okay. So they do a periodical reconciliation with the Vertex as well as in SAP. Because in the US, the tax system is very, very different, as you know, and you have a different type of taxes, and they're very particular. And the tax goes with a combination of the jurisdiction code and the jurisdiction code that we maintain here. You see this jurisdiction code?
Yeah.
This jurisdiction code is a combination of your local county or state or whatever it is. The combination of the state, county, and location. You know zip code, right?
Yeah.
So combination of these, they will specify that this is the percentage of the tax and so on so product, either output or input. So that code and that rate get updated in the third-party systems called Vertex, or there is another system called TaxWay. So those things will be maintained. So that is the error that you got here. These guys, they try to interface, and Vertex, they cannot give you a demo system that you can link it to SAP.
Okay.
Okay, but somebody activated. That's the reason you're getting this demo system. Okay. Now we are done with customer master. Anything that you would like to know the customer master?
No, not at this point.
Yeah, I think this information should be sufficient for you to before you go to FSCM. Okay. Now one more thing I would like to know is, are you aware of some basic transaction like FBL 5N, which will give you the account statement of the customers. Account is the open item management. You know this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can also see noted item, park item. If the customer is also vendor, then you can also see the vendor open items. Customer come vendor open items here.
Okay.
And there is one more FI transaction that you need to know is the account clear. Account clear is another transaction.
Account cleared?
Yeah, clear the account action. F-32.
Okay.
F-32 is an F-32. clear customer accounts.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This is you delete your, I mean, your offset your debits and credits of your customer account. Suppose somebody made an advance payment or somebody just made a payment without giving the reference number of invoice that is making a payment. Then what you do is you will select the debit as well as the credit, that is invoice as well as the payment, and you clear the customer account. Okay. Or you can also do the cross customer. I mean, the payment of one customer can be cleared in the other customer as well. You will have that scenario called bill to ship to. Okay, so sometimes they will have bill to customer, ship to customer, what we call the partner relation. That partner relations, you can use it, and you can knock off your entries between the customer and vendor, customer and third party, sorry, customer with the ship to, customer with the bill to. Okay. Now we are at FSCM credit management right now. Here what you can see is the master data related, master data mass changes, list displays, integration of credit management here. If you look into the first three characters, you can see the UKM. Do you see this UKM?
Yeah.
The term UKM stands for credit management. Okay.
Okay.
Wherever you see that UKM stands for credit management. Similarly, if you want to see that dispute management, it will be UDM.
Okay.
UDM stands for dispute management. You able to see that, right?
Yeah.
UDM. And similarly for collection, you have UCM.
For collection, right?
It should be UDM. It is UDM. UDM. FDM. Okay. Now I'll take you some PowerPoint presentation. Let us see what we are going to cover in the. Okay.
Hello? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are total 30 slides which you can see. And this course, that how we structured it, initially see the introduction. Then we will see the detailed introduction like business objectives.
Yeah.
Then we'll see the credit limit, credit case, credit engine rules, and credit information, credit manager portal. Then we will see that system landscape and architecture. And I'll explain you this diagram, how this data, whole SAP credit management is being designed. Then we will see, I'll explain you this rules, structure, and engine. Engine is the thing, but credit engine, which is one of the interview questions that you get around this, because this is the backbone for it. Okay. Then you will see the source information from which sources that you can get the data for FSCM credit management. Then we will also see that some business scenarios, how the score gets calculated, and how do you use this score. Then where do you assign that limits and formula, and calculating score and defining risk classes. Then we will also see that calculating score and defining risk classes while in the business part or master data. Then we also look into some of the integration as well as an interface related. Okay.
Yeah.
This credit case I told you in the past that in case somebody wants to request for either a new credit or credit enhancement, that also we will see that how it happens. And at the end of the course of this SAP credit management, we will see what are the available reports and what are the standard transactions that we will use, and we'll see that what are the OSS notes and the badges that we need to use. Okay. Okay, now let us see that before we go into the configuration part, there are certain things that we need to check in SAP NetWeaver. SAP NetWeaver is the one where you do all your FSCM related settings. That you will see in the SPRO configuration, we have to use the transaction SPRO. I'll bring you back here. This is SPRO, SPRO. Then you click on F5, function 5. Then it will bring you up all the configuration related nodes. This is what we call as a node. Okay, each one is called node. Then our configuration for credit management, collection, dispute management start with SAP NetViewer. Okay, in the SAP NetViewer, we will see some of the transactions, general settings.
Okay.
Cross application,
Master.
business, SAP business partner. In the SAP business partner, you see that business partner basic settings, and this setting should have been done in 99%. This setting will be done and before they give the system to you to work on. Okay, and you will define your master data both for the person, organization, and groups. Persons means the customer as an individual, and sometimes the customers can also be an organization. So from the standpoint, you will have organization as well as the individual. So these settings have to be done, but most of the cases, like I said, 99%, they set up these settings before they give the system to you in the real-time project. Okay, now let us see the master data synchronization. The master data synchronization, which, as I told you in your demo, when you create in a customer, it will have a corresponding business partner. Or similarly, when you create a business partner, it also creates customer master in SAP. To do that setting, we have to see the customer and the integration, business partner settings for customer integration, because we're all talking about AR, right? So from that standpoint, we will look this settings from customer perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You see the set business partner role category for direction of BP customer. BP to customer means business partner to customer.
Okay.
So these settings we need to do how you would like to see, the bidirectional, the customer to business partner, business to customer partner. And we also have one more setting. Different BP role direction, customer to BP. One is a BP to customer, the other one is customer to BP. Here you will map your account group with the business partner role.
So, I mean, can you tell me again, the business partner, is that something we are going to
use in FSCM?
Use in FSCM.
Yeah, and your BP is nothing but your customer master.
Okay.
Okay, the customer master cannot be directly used in FSCM. I tell you the reason when I set up a business partner, why we cannot use it. The customer what we use in SAP is a little different in business partner, because in customer master you have some basic data and company code specific information. Whereas in case of business partner, a business partner can have a different type of roles, and you need to set up those roles. The role can be in collection management role, or dispute management role, or credit management role, in-house cash role, or it could be an individual role in treasury and risk management and business partner, and so on. So from that standpoint, you cannot use the customer as is in the FSCM module. So that's the reason you have to create a business partner. To create a business partner, you have to set up a link between the customer of SAP to business partner in FSCM. That integration we will do here.
Okay.
See, set a BP role category for customer integration. Your customer is in R3 and BP is in FSCM.
So is it going to be like one business partner and many customers going to be linked to?
No, one customer master will have one business partner role, and one customer will have one business partner, but that business partner can have a several roles.
Okay.
Okay, you will have a several roles that you will have for the business partner. We will see that how do we define that role when we set up a business partner. Okay, all that what is important here is these two steps to integrate. To have a bidirectional integration between your customer and business partner. These two things are very important. Generally, it would be done by your sales and distribution management team, SD team. But we should know this because we have to tell them which customers have to be defined as a business partner. Okay, 99% most of the customers you do it, but particularly if a customer is an exports customer or international trade customer, you would not be doing it for the reason you will not give any credit limit to your international customers because international business always backed by LC. LC means a letter of credit that will be dealt by your export management team. But for them, you will not set up any credit. No credit limit will be set up for your international customers because you cannot send them on credit. You have to sell them through LC terms. So that is the finance team part, how we have structured, how we have defined your customers, and accordingly your SD team will be able to set up this. Okay?
Okay.
Now we are done here. Now let us see that business partner related activity. And one more thing is we have to do synchronization of master data. Synchronization of master data is nothing but some portion of your SAP customer data can be shared in your FSCM business partner. What happens is you have a general information, name, bank information, communication in the SAP can be shared at FSCM business partner level. Okay. So from that standpoint, you have to use that data synchronization also. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Now let us see that how to set up business partner in SAP. The transaction to create a business partner is a BP. I'll take you again to the system. Enter transaction BP. BP stands for business partner. Give transaction BP. B stands for voice, P for Peter. BP. Then it will display you maintain business partner. Here you have to go to on the menu business partner, create person. Is reading, it is taking time.
Yeah. So you clicked on person, right? Create person?
Yeah, we will define the business partner, create a person. See person, organization group, but from training perspective, we will take the person. Organizations can also be taken, just from training perspective, we'll go with the person. But most of the cases, they will define only as a person, not as an organization.
Okay.
Taking pretty long time. It should have not been this much. I'll share you this slide, and yeah, you can. We will go as per the steps. But before we go in detail, I just want to discuss on the master data, because without master data, we cannot do anything in SAP. Everything is master data driven. Everywhere. The master data is the first. So that's the reason I'm talking about the business partner master data initially. No, it didn't take this much yesterday. This much, I mean, this is taking too much time. Yesterday it took, in seconds.
I was afraid that today server was going to be down because I got the email from them. I was not able to connect. We didn't have class yesterday, but they were having server issue too.
Well, you see, the reason yesterday, in fact, it was my fault. I was having a viral fever.
Oh.
Okay, even if I had taken the session, it would have not gone even for 15-20 minutes. Because it's a season, right? So because of season, I didn't expect, even I was not at my work yesterday. I was at home only. And
actually, we have that too. I mean, me, my son, it's the season change here, and also I had to take antibiotic.
Antibiotic normally doctors will not give, but perhaps if you have something you can take it, because you know right better than me.
I usually get sinus infection, so that's why I have to.
Yeah, sinus infection, very careful. But you go for this one, steam. It will really affect. It will have very good effect. You know how to take steam?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put some turmeric and something called either jandu or something. You take steam, it will have a very good effect. I don't know why it is taking this much time today. Let me create one more session. Creation of session, right?
Yeah.
One more simple interview question. They may ask you, what are the maximum sessions that you can in SAP? How many
6,
you can create?
right?
Exactly. 6 sessions. If you try to create more than that, it will not allow.
FI part I was okay, but CO is like, I need refreshing course again.
If you want CO is at least you need to be strong conceptually, though you are not worked on any projects, because conceptually it's supposed to be strong. And learning a CO, I don't think that any trainer do justification on CO, because CO required integration with the 2 other modules minimum. I said 3, but at least 2 is important. That is your materials management as well as your production and planning. Without your PP module and SD module, I don't think that you do justification in learning controlling module, because your materials have to be defined and that materials have to be used in the production. Unless you do production, you cannot do product costing. Okay, all your variances and all your reports, price updation, and producing the material, bringing it inventory. All this is a part of your materials management module and production and planning module.
Yeah, he did that. My trainer here, he did that. We created material like from beginning, and to show us how it, the integration between MM and SD, and that's why he created.
It's good.
But I didn't practice for a while, so I think it's.
SAP is a such type of software. If you don't practice it for months together, any expert, even 10 years expert, 15 years expert, he will forget the things. But again, he has to spend another 2 weeks to 3 weeks and start browsing everything and brushing up. And yeah, it is a different world, SAP. I'm not sure why it is so slow. I created 2 sessions, but still it's not creating the business person. It has to get, we got it. Good. You see that create person?
Uh-huh.
Okay, the roles that I'm talking is, these are the roles. A business partner can be of any role. It can be an insurance company agent, it can be an investor, it can be a janitor, it can be a rollover clerk, it can be a person insured. These things, each and every module in SAP, the business partner will be defined and they will be extended to that role. Suppose if we created one business partner, that is 366, that what we created, he can play any role, but for our training purpose, we take it for credit management.
But can it play like can it be multiple roles?
He can play multiple roles.
Okay.
But whatever the transaction we are doing it, that particular role only gets activated. You see that credit management business partner role, I'm taking it. We also have another role like collection management role. You see collections. We will discuss when we go to the collection. Right now we will take it only for credit management business partner. When you just give the business partner role, it will ask you to create. Click on the create. This is nothing but it is the compiling. When you do first time, it is the compiling. Because it is looking for n number of programs. So that's the reason it says it's a compiling. Now what we'll do is we'll give the data. We are getting a same error here also. I need to ask these guys to deactivate it. Let us see if I can do that. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, I told you, right? It's still continuing.
I know.
Yeah, virals are, they're very, very kind of risky, highly contagious.
Yep.
MS0018.
Yeah, it's still the same word.
MS00, yeah. This one I have to deactivate it. What I'll do is I'll deactivate here. Actually, that error will be. Actually, I don't want to do that, but what happens is if somebody is doing their own training, then they have to rebuild that. I'm still for 6. I'm not sure. Right.
Are you in Pune or Hyderabad?
I'm based out of Hyderabad, Nisha.
Oh, Hyderabad.
I don't think that you can do practice in this system. The system what they gave is different than the system what I have. Okay. Yeah. So they said they will provide the common system by Monday.
Oh, okay.
So whatever the changes I do, it will be there in your system also, so that you can do some practice.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to have a reading. You need to have some reading. I'll provide you this slides along with slides. I provide some more material, which is really important. You know, conceptually, if you're strong, then I'm sure that you can easily break the an opportunity in SAP FSCM. Not sure why it's not working yet. Very slow. Not coming up. I don't know why it's taking such a long time.
Down maybe the connection.
Yeah, now I think we are able to, we can create a business partner now. Yeah, that error has gone now. Yeah, you see that customer is created. In the first initial when we tried, it could not create a customer. Now it will also allow to create a business partner now. All that what we have to do is we have to get the screen. If the screen can come up, then we are good.
So it says customer 100 has been created for the company.
Right. Customer has created. Now we got the similar error for business partner also. Now business partner should also get created now because that error we fixed it. Actually, I don't want to do that fix because if somebody is getting training on that, they will also have a problem, right?
I know.
On the same system. But anyway, if they want, they do it a resetting. Okay. Now we'll go for creating a customer with the credit management role. Okay, it's a collection role. Now you'll have a credit management role.
So is it true that business partner has one-to-one relation like?
Yes,
so
one
for
customer,
each...
one business partner.
Okay, okay.
Relation of the master data is different than relation of the role.
Okay.
A business partner can have a multiple roles, but he should have one-to-one relation with SAP customer master data. That is the correct statement. Let's see what it says now.
Connection error.
This is all the system errors. Okay, geo code. Let's see, I should have the error fix. Okay, what it is? I'll fix this error. Okay, in tomorrow's session, I'll create one more business partner. Okay.
Okay.
And we'll see that whatever we covered in the slides also. Okay. And second thing is, I heard that one more person is going to join from California. So he's also interested in the same module. Then it would be more interactive and it would be more interesting. Okay. But anyway, I have to create that. For this, what I have to do is, I don't remember the name of the program that I need to run. Okay. But I know that it is there somewhere on the emails. I have to run that program. I will show you that program once I execute that. Okay.
Okay.
That program is to be executed so that it will not give this error. And I will show you the screen as well as I'll show you the screen where I have deactivated and the transaction name also. It is a single checkbox. Single checkbox where we can, let me see if I can get that. It should have been here. Let us see the T8 is a transaction to execute. Yeah, this is the program, right? I have this. Let me execute this. Just take this and click it. This was data was set, right? Now this error should not come. Let us see. It may come up with some other error, not the same error. Let me go out of this screen and come back. I think you know these real-time problems. When you are fixing it on the same screen, you have to go out of the transaction and come back.
So that person is going to join from tomorrow then?
I heard that he would be joining tomorrow on Monday, whatever it is. But what they told me that I'm not sure whether they come or not, but nothing doesn't matter. We'll go with the same speed.
Yeah.
Let us see if it gives any error, otherwise it gives the business partner. Okay, now what is the message that you got?
Business partner created 60476.
Yeah, this is how you create a business partner. But here we created at what role?
General.
Business partner. Now let us extending him to credit management module. Yeah, it go to change mode. Okay. Then you give that as a credit manager role. This is credit management business partner. Okay. When I keep the credit management business partner, did you notice anything? The credit profile and credit worthiness will have come. Earlier we were there in general, business partner general. Let us see. Business partner general. Thank you again. You see, general business partner, right? What I am doing is create a business partner. We have only few up to very user list. Let us say display changes. We're changing the business partner. And take the credit management business partner. Now the number of tabs will go up.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you got credit worthiness, credit profile. So now we are extending the general business partner to credit management business partner. Now we are changing the role. Let us say with what it says, or let's give any other.
So whatever role you change it to, then it's only this role. The other role is not active.
Exactly. We are not. The roles are active, but for this particular business partner, we have not extended him to that particular role. Okay. Those management modules are active, but he has not been extended to that role. Example, collection management. When this credit is over, the same business partner can be extended to collection management role. Now we have extended from general to credit management role. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, the role is generally created one general. See, is the same business partner. Initially we gave general, now we have extended him to credit management. Now what we do is, we will see that what information we need to fill in the credit profile and what are the other areas, other tabs that we need to fill. That we will see it in our tomorrow's class. But today what we have seen is creation of a customer master data, creation of a business partner, and some line items we have seen. And we have seen that setting up of the customer bidirectional, where the settings are, that is customer to business partner to customer. It means when customer is created, system will also create a business partner. It will be a settings. Settings means you have to set that whatever the customer number used in SAP is the same number the business partner will be created. Similarly, if a business partner is created, a customer will be created there. It means you can create it from different modules. To create a customer master, you can do that from business partners. If you're creating from customer to business partner, that also you can do it. What it does is, it just creates only with the standard information like address and address overview. The rest of the information will not be updated. For the same customer, 604760, remember that tomorrow we will see this customer, how it got created in SAP. Okay. ANC Corporation, CC, and so on. So we will see that how the bidirectional settings are done. Well, after we looking into that, then see that what data we need to fill in the credit profile. Rules, risk classes, check rules, and rating procedure, all this stuff. Then we have some additional information like identification, control, payment transaction, and so on. Then we also need to see credit segment data. This also we need to fill to set up the credit limit. if you don't set up the credit limit, customer can go and buy goods from business as much as they want, right? But we don't
Yeah.
want to sell them. We don't want to sell them more than the assigned credit limit. So those things we will see in coming classes. Okay. Any questions so far today?
No.
Okay.
I think I will look at the slides and you know, if I have any, we'll
sure. That anyway you will get the slide. You'll get the slide, but I will not be sending it tomorrow. But you need a couple of days before I send it, because I just want to run you through before you go through these slides. Okay. You may not be able to understand what is this credit case, credit tool engine, credit limit. We will discuss this when we go for in the screens. Do you remember that I just told you, like, you know, see, limit not defined, limit defined.
right.
This is linked to credit limit management. After discussing this, then we go through it, you'll be able to remember. Okay?
Okay.
Or otherwise, I have no problem at all. Let me go through once again the slide is covering everything or not. If it covers everything, then it's not a problem.
Yeah, that's okay.
I will send it to you. Absolutely no problem. Okay?
Okay.
Just make a note on any book what we were discussing on daily basis. Today we discussed a few things. One is customer master data creation, line items. Then we have also seen how data synchronization as well as master data synchronization between business partner role and customer master. Then we have seen the business partners. Then we have also seen the settings. We get any geo error, how to come out of that. We have to run this particular program. Okay, we have to run this program. Just execute it. Select it and disable geo services. Then you will be able to come out of this error. This is one of the interview questions. How to disable geo services from business partner. Just say that execute this particular transaction.
Okay.
Geocoding set, flag program will be there. Just execute it and disable it. Then that's fine. Then you are able to create a business partner. So today we are also able to create a business partner. Then we will see how to fill the other fields when we are executing it credit management level. Okay. There are so many concepts that we need to know. That's the reason I'm not rushing you. If I rush you, then I can cover as much as possible.
Yeah.
But my intention is that you should at least 60-70% minimum you would be able to understand and remember. It's not possible to remember 100%, but at least 60-70%.
Yeah. No, I appreciate. I don't want you to rush through. I don't want to just finish it just to finish. I want to understand it, like you said. You know, the concept is also more important.
Right. So if you remember conceptually, then you see that the system is different, applications are different, but the business process would remain same. Okay. If you have a credit card, you cannot draw 100,000. You can draw only the limit that you have. Similarly, here also, in the credit management, we set up the limit to what extent a customer can purchase the material. So like that. So we will see that how it goes, and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay?
Okay. Tomorrow same time. Okay.
Same time, yes. Unless there is any contrary statement from these guys. Otherwise, I'm fine.
Okay. So tomorrow is Saturday, but you'll find, right? I am okay. But I'm
fine this Saturday. Perhaps next Saturday I may not be, but this Friday Saturday I'm fine.
Okay.
Okay? Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Second thing is, but I will keep on telling you what are the part of your business blueprint. Your business blueprint is nothing but whatever currently they are doing it, that you will be mapping it in SAP. First thing. Second thing is you will use all SAP terms. The third one is the gaps whatever you have between your existing system and to the new system, that also we will address. Okay. Giving a blueprint document means I need to prepare it for you, honestly. But that is not honestly part of the training, and it's an additional effort. And second thing is I cannot share the business blueprint of any of the customers. That is again for the reason it is a violation. Okay, if I have to prepare for you, but I have to see the estimate how much time it will come, and if I can make it, I will send it. But honestly, I'm not promising anything. Go ahead.
That's fine. I understand this. What you're talking about, Miss. We cannot share the information that is there because this is actually breach of certain kind
agreement. It's a breach of agreement, and it doesn't look nice. It is against the
of.
ethics.
But yeah, definitely. And that will, Miss, as far as the blueprinting is concerned, we can always discuss.
That I'll let you know. That I will let you know. Can you give me a second, please? Hello. Yes, sir. BDS. No, my son is not interested in BDS. Thank you. No, he's going for long term. Thank you. Sorry for that.
No problem.
Okay. Any other doubt that you have? Any other questions that you would like to know? And it's good that you have asked Abhishek, because setting expectation is very important. Otherwise, you think something different, I am thinking something different. But conflict document and business blueprint, these are not part of any of the training. But the PowerPoint presentation and wherever the conflict is possible and running at possible transactions and just, referring to relevant OSS notes, providing you the list of T codes, and these things will be, they can be expected as a part of training. I want to be honest from the beginning. I've been telling it to my students. I want to be honest. Let's not go with a different expectation. Okay, and go ahead.
What training material would we be referring to? Is it a SAP standard training material that we have? Or?
No, we are not. You see, there is a separate slide that we prepared exclusively for training. We will have some PowerPoint presentation that will show you how it looks like. So this is a typical PowerPoint presentation. While certain things would be shown on, on the system also. What you have to do, where you do, why will you do, those things we will take care. Okay. So these are all from credit management, and for collection management also we have. So these things will be enough to understand the concepts. The rest you have to, you keep looking into the SAP documentation if required. But if you need SAP training documentation, that I can refer someone, they will take money and share it to you. Whatever the training material, means if you go to SAP training, they will give you a book, right? Soft copy.
Right.
That material, if you want, I can refer, a person's name. That they will sell it to you. I don't know how much they take, but they can sell it. Otherwise, if I have to get it, then I have to try that if I can get it.
Okay.
So these are the bill of diet related. So this is how the slides are prepared, and this is how we will go with. We cannot go with using SAP documentation. Using an SAP documentation means it's as good as an SAP training.
Right.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, that was all I was having as of now.
All right. Well, in the last class, what you have seen, do you know how to create a business partner in SAP? Abhishek, do you know how to create a business partner in SAP?
Yeah, I have created several times.
Okay, so you don't have to look into the SAP business partner creation specifically. Okay.
Not necessarily.
Okay, the reason is that is the one which I covered in the previous session with Manisha.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
One more thing. Can we have a recorded session of all these?
This you can ask a service provider. They will give it They'll give it to you. I'm not sure from either of you. There's a lot of disturbance. If you want, you can go ahead with mute. Then you can unmute it whenever you want to talk. I have no problem at all, but you may feel discomfort. Okay. Okay. Manisha, you have seen that business partner, how to create business partner as such.
Yes.
Okay. Now let us see the next session. Some of the fields of the business partner we will see today, because from particularly credit management perspective, what we are going to see, the roles that we need to create. Then also we will see the credit management role. Initially we create in a general role. Then we will extend that to credit management role. Once we extend the credit management role, there are additional fields that will come up to enter customer or the business partner credit information. We will see those fields. Those are really important. And where we do corresponding config settings also, we can see that once we know those fields. I'm not sure. Business partner, this is little slow last time also. You need to check, Abhishek, what version are they using and what enhancement pack are they using also you need to check. Because SAP comes up with the different documentations as well as the features in each and every enhancement pack. That I can share with you. Whatever SAP comes, SAP gives in each and every enhancement pack. The latest enhancement pack is an EHP 6. EHP means enhancement pack 6. But an enhancement pack 5 for collection, credit and dispute, SAP refers some additional features that I can share with you at the end of the session. I don't know why this is very slow. Which module are you currently working? Abhishek?
Sorry,
which area are you working?
Right now I'm working into revenue recognition and accrual engine. This is a small area of the overall FSCM.
I know.
And
so you're using contract accounting?
Yes, we are using contract accounting. That is actually what's happening here is we have implemented IS Media. And
IS Media.
Right. And now we are using the CM module, that is CRM module, to generate contracts, and then finally it moves to our FICO. So my domain is primarily FI area, and that includes revenue recognition, accrual engine. Then we have a different functionality in media sector that is called the usage and all those stuff. So those are my domain. We also have FSCM area, but right now I have not been assigned that area, and I thought of picking up that one also because there is a lot of opportunity to move forward. I can club FSCM with what I am doing right now, so I have got some time and I can use my time into that. But before venturing that area, I have to be prepared on my own. So that was the challenge. We do have actually the implementation. We are in the realization phase right now. So
yeah, you still have ample. You will have ample time.
Ample time, and moreover, we have proper documentation in FSCM as well. What they have implemented, they also have a standard material that I have come to know. So I can always refer that as well.
It's good.
But yeah, before entering or before telling my management that I would also like to pick up that one, I would like to feel confident enough to look into what exactly is FSCM, because I've never worked in FSCM area before. I have worked on standard credit functionality, but not FSCM at all. So that's
right. Right. I think that I talked about the difference between standard credit management and FSCM credit management. In the standard credit management, wherever you want to get customer credit related information from external agency, you have to do either file import or you have to file import, or you have to build an interface between Dun & Bradstreet or Payday or any credit agencies with your SAP system. By having an FSCM, you don't have to, in case if you want to integrate real time with your third-party credit agencies, you can do it with the XA. With the XA or PI, whatever you call it. With the PI integration, you can directly connect to your credit agency's database. That's the first thing. Second thing is credit rule engine. Credit rule engine is another feature of SAP FSCM, where you can define your own formulas. You can set up the formula. Using those formulas, you can derive the credit score to your customers, either for existing customers or for the new customers. Okay. So that credit score engine is another important area which SAP has provided in FSCM. And top of that, you have additional small advantages, like if you would like to have a separate control as well as separate credit department, and would like to have the control of all the customers from the credit aspect, that you can do it easily. And you can maintain multiple credit agencies credit score also here in FSCM. There's a separate screen that comes, and you'll be able to define your own credit risk classes, credit rules, assigning it to the business partner, setting up a relation, and quite several things that you can see in FSCM credit management. Okay. Surprisingly, it is taking a lot of time to open this business partner. It was not the case last time. It opened, but not sure why it took such a long time.
So you're based out of East Coast, Raghav?
No, I keep traveling, but as of now I'm in India.
Okay.
I was there in Bay Area for more than 3 years. I was in Connecticut, I was in Seattle, I was in Texas.
Uh-huh.
Able to hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear.
Remember, Manisha, what's the business partner that we created on the other day?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember?
No, I didn't write it down.
Okay, let me see. Yeah, 604760. So this is a business partner that we created in credit management role. This is a credit management business partner. When we create a business partner using a credit management role, credit profile and credit worthiness, these two fields will open along with some other additional. But it is a general practice that first we will create a business partner in general role. Then what we do is we extend it to appropriate other roles like credit management role, collection roles, dispute. Dispute may not be have a role, collection management, credit management role. If you have in-house cash, you will create in-house cash roles. Like that, you have several roles. So referring to our particular training, we created one business partner 604760 and we extended that to credit management business role where system will bring up these additional tabs. Now let us see the main fields in the business partner credit management role. I'll go in the change mode. What is the transaction to create a BP business partner? Manisha, question is for you. BP stands for business partner.
Business.
Okay. Yeah. Since Abhishek has already created quite several business partners, that's the reason I'm asking you that question to you. BP stands for business partner. That is the T code that we need to use. BP, right? So here you have person, organization, group. We are taking as a person, and we are taking as a created. This one is the last time we tweeted. Now I am in the change mode. In the change mode, these are the fields that will come up, during master data, the business partner creation. One important thing that what we should understand here, certain fields what we are creating or changing here will reflect in customer master because of the setting that we did. Bidirectional settings like when a customer is created, system will automatically create a business partner. If you create a business partner in FSCM, it will automatically create the master data in SAP. Either create a change whatever it is. It's the bidirectional settings we have. That we have seen. That's called master data synchronization option. Okay. So since these are all integrated, certain information like address overview, and payment transaction and bank information related, these are all the common fields between SAP R3 customer master and business partner master data. So these are all the standard fields like name and address, and where you can maintain multiple communication, multiple address for each customer. And the challenge, perhaps you may be aware of, Sheikh, but for you, Manisha, some of the customers, they will have a different address, but only one customer is created in SAP. It could be the same thing like, you have, if you call the customer, then you have a different contacts within the customer also. That their clerk will be there, the manager will be there, or there will be a separate person sitting at a different location, and it may have different business hours. All these things you can maintain in the master data, business partner master data. Okay, so you can maintain a multiple address. It will come. This type of persons will come when you go for an interview. Certainly, how you can do it means we can use other communication. Using another communication also you can set up if you want to maintain the fax, email, and so on. And maintaining a multiple address is also possible. So this is a multiple address option where you have to do it. The telephone number, extension, if you want to add comments, you can add the comments. So additional numbers also can be managed. Now coming to address overview. This address overview is if you have multiple address, like a delivery address is different, business address is different, holiday home, and if there are different fields that you would like to have, you can always add that. You just create that. It will tell you where you want to create, what you want to create. Okay. So these things, multiple addresses can be maintained. In fact, this is not really important, but when you go for data conversion, that is converting the data from legacy system to FSCM, these things will come. How can you maintain, where do you maintain means this is, you can say this is where you will maintain. Okay? And if they also see that, whether address and everything come in proper form means if you do print preview, it will tell you how this address will come. If you want to change the parameters also, you can change it. Did you notice this, right? This one. What does this stands for? Extra numbers if you want to maintain, you can maintain here. Just click add, you can maintain the numbers, extra phone numbers if you want. Multiple phone numbers if you want to maintain. Okay. And similarly, if you have a separate address for correspondence, a separate address for delivery, those things also you can maintain if you want to. And we can give the validity data as well. Right now, coming to the credit profile, which is really very important from credit management perspective. You have the rules that you need to specify. You can also give a score that if you want to give manually, you can give it, or alternatively, you can calculate it. How will you calculate, how it will come, I will let you know. Okay, so the rules, credit rules will be there, and I will explain you what actually the credit rule stands for. You will define different rules, depends upon the nature of the customer. As I told you, you will have a different type of customers that you will classify, depends upon the business needs. You have your own intercompany customers. Intercompany means, right? The same group, but at different entities. And you will also have a private customer, that is the external customers. And you classify the customers with the small as well as the major customers. Major customers means who will make a huge purchases from you, and from your business. And small customers means the customers with so and so amount. Then similarly, you have known customers and unknown customers, and the new customers, and so on. There are different customers there. Depends upon the classification, you will set up the rule. Example I'll give you, like if you have an intercompany customers, is it really necessary to do a credit check? It is your own group of company, right? You have your subsidiary somewhere. Subsidiary company is nothing but your group of company. But to make supplies to that company, I don't think that you need to do any credit check. At that time, you say that no credit check is required. Okay, so for that you set up a separate rule. Similarly, you have a major customer. Major customer means he always make huge purchases. He always makes huge purchases, and each invoice will run in thousands of dollars. Like it could be 50,000, it could be 70,000 or 100,000 of each invoice. And in each month, you will take at least 6 to 7 invoices. It means at the end of the month, the amount that has to come from the customer to turn even into $1 million. The millions of dollars means that you have to monitor that customer very closely, whether you are getting the payments on time or not, whether the capacity of that customer, like financial capacity, as well as the business that the customer is running is really strong enough to provide a proper credit. And the risk that you define for that customer will be relatively high, because the invoices that you are raising for that customer is very huge, and that the number of invoices are more in each month, and the risk will be very high. So you will define certain set of rules for that customer to do a credit check. So that goes in a different type of rule that you set up, which is in a different category. And there are customers who will buy, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 worth of invoices or material. Then you don't have to. You will set up a credit check, but the rules will be certainly different. They are not stringent. Like that depends upon the customer classification categorization, you have to define a different rules. And again, last time I said to Manisha, but for you Abhishek, you have a customers like international customers. International customers means you are nothing but you are doing an export business. When you do an export business, most of the export business they are backed by LCs. LCs means a letter of credit where bank assures that if you supply the material as per the terms and conditions of letter of credit, the payment will be made to you. Then at the time what happens, bank is giving a guarantee for your proper supply. Then if bank is giving a guarantee, then you don't have to do any credit check for that. The payment, isn't it? So
yeah, it's a kind of
assurance. Then you don't have to do a separate credit check for those customers. You don't have to maintain any credit check rules. Like whenever you maintain a business partner for each customer, at the time of creating the customer at the time of creating the customers, your central team who will take the responsibility of creating the master data, they maintain within relevant information. But if it comes to FSCM credit management, the manager of the credit department, he will look into the parameters and assign appropriate rule here. As I said, that is one of the beautiful feature of this FSCM credit management is this portion of access would be given to credit department. Okay, and whereas the address and other fields and the payment transaction, that information can be filled by other people, but this type of information can be filled by only your credit department. Okay, now coming to the risk class. The class will be again is something where your credit score of the customers will be determined. Is the high default risk, low default risk, medium default risk, no default risk, or very high default risk. So these risk classes we will discuss when we do a config settings. This is rules and risk classes. They are relevant to determine and do a credit check. Now coming to credit check rule, we have a different rules that we will define. Whether it is in dynamically done or static would be done. Most of the cases it will be dynamic. Dynamic means at the time of doing sales order as well as order creation, sales order creation and delivery. And this is another important interview questions that happens in case if you are not exposed to standard SAP credit management. That is, at what level the credit check would be done in SAP. It would be done at two places. One is at the time of creating a sales order. The second one is it is at the time of doing a delivery. Delivery of the goods is also sales functionality. Creation of sales order is also SD functionality. Now what we do here is for the customer where the credit check has to be happen, how it has to be happen. We will define that with the help of your SD team. Then we will define the credit check rule in FSCM credit management. Your credit department manager will closely work with the sales team to determine all these things. Now customer grouping, whether it's a corporate or small medium customers or subsidiaries. This is only for information purpose, this customer grouping. Okay. Now coming to this one, like rating. This rating is from your external credit agency, and the second thing is you will set up the rating procedure here. How you want to define. Suppose if it's the Dun and Bradstreet, the data comes from the Dun and Bradstreet, then you will set up these rates here. Once we do this in the configuration, then we'll update this master data, how it happens. Okay, this is all about your credit profile tab. This is called tab. Under this tab, these are the fields that will come. We are still, as of now, only at the business partner level. Unless this business partner is completed, we would not be going to config. The approach is first we will look into the master data fields, then we do configuration, then we will see that how those configuration is impacting your business partner master data. Then we will run the transaction and we will see that all possible scenarios wherever it is system is allowing us. Okay, any questions as of now?
No, nothing from my side.
Okay. Now, coming to the credit worthiness data, in case if any of your customers in the credit profile within the credit worthiness data I'm talking about, in case if you want to have an additional fields where if you have the customer's file affidavit or you have a bankruptcy chapter 14 and chapter 7, which typically customers will file it. If the customer is any foreclosure, Foreclosure means if they do any foreclosure of the stock exchange as well as other things, if you see that what are the dates, relevant dates, this will give a heads up that that customer should not be made any more supplies. Okay. What happens is the customer is making a regular payments to you, but in the market his condition is not really strong enough, and he might have filed in a bankruptcy either under Chapter 7 or Chapter 14, or he might have filed an affidavit, or he might have declared a foreclosure. If you have that information, it is better to fill these. And second thing is, at the time of doing an credit information from external agencies, that customer may have experience. You may have experience with that customer in the past that he filed bankruptcy in 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but because of the special packages given by the government or by the bank, now they are doing the business okay. But even such type of scenarios, it is better to maintain such type of data in the records, so that you always keep a special eye on them. You always keep a special focus on those customers and ensure that the financial capacity is in good good shape, and you will be able to do the credit check on and often. Okay. So for that reason, you will be maintaining this data in case if you have that information. And in case if you would like to maintain any additional text, suppose periodically when you do a credit check, then credit check means credit information check from external credit agency. You would like to have some additional note about the customer. This is the way you maintain. You know this field, right? It will just open the editor. This opens the editor where if you want to enter that this customer as a foreclosure on so and so date, and according to so and so information, and you can see the legal department has given opinion so and so. Whatever you would like to maintain, you maintain the text with the appropriate date, so that whenever they goes to this particular business partner, the manager will have an option to see what is being written against this customer and what are the comments of the different people. Those things can be seen here. Okay. And if you want to maintain, you can also maintain additional info in the credit management. Right. Now coming to the identification. This is a general information. What type of customer is it? A customer is an individual. Then you have a marital status, nationality. If you have any external business partner number, means what happens is you have an external credit management system. It is not an SAP system. It is running on some other application or some other technology. In case if you would like to have that number to be mentioned here, you can mention that. That is an external business partner number. Okay. If you have a system like multiple systems and the same customer is maintained, you can maintain an ID, identification number, responsible institutions in case if they have anything. The tax numbers, in case of TIN number or in case any VAT number, if you want to maintain, you can maintain here. But one thing I would like to let you know that some of these fields are not relevant for all countries. There are some of them are country specific. But indeed, it's required. You can maintain it. Otherwise, you can leave it. It's not. These are not mandatory field. And in tomorrow's session, I will let you know that where you can maintain all these fields, which you can make mandatory, which you have to make optional. I will show you that in tomorrow's session. Okay. And again, these sessions are not daily, but till this weekend or even Monday, Tuesday, I'll try to take it on daily basis. After that, we'll go on weekly weekly thrice. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
For you. And we will take certainly on Saturday and Sunday, and during the weekdays we will take at least 2 sessions. So in that you can get 3 to 4 sessions in a week. Will that work for you or not? Be open. I have no problem at all.
Yeah, it will be fine.
Okay. And in case 1 or 2 sessions I can adjust if you skip it. But if you skip continuously back to back, it would be a problem to each other. So make sure that as far as possible, you be there in all the classes. Now in the control, this is a business partner type. In case if you want to maintain the business partner type, you can maintain it. In case for the category any of your employees are also customers and some of your managers are also customers, then business partner, that you can maintain it. So it's not mandatory to have. In case if you have authorization groups that you can maintain here. And remember that in credit management, collection and disputes, authorization groups plays a very, very important role that we need to remember that. Okay, this is not here, but in the business partner will maintain, we will show in collection and disputes how business partner is important, what will drive the business partner, will directly see them in collection and dispute management. Okay, data origin, in case if you want to specify that for where this particular master data has been derived. If it is the legacy system, you can put it. If it is from purchase address data set, you can put it. And in most of the cases, it is blank if it is created directly in SAP FSCM or in SAP. SAP means you create the customer in SAP, it automatically creates a business partner. Or you can directly create in the business partner in FSCM. In that case, this field will be blank. If it is a converted data, you can simply take that, this is legacy data. So it is easy that tomorrow if any record failed, and you will determine that why the record field, record updation get failed. Then you say, oh, this is coming from your legacy system. The interface between the legacy and SAP didn't work. Then you will be able to easily check. Otherwise, what happens? Then you will be, trying to do more and more troubleshooting why this is not happening. It is possible that if you are implementing FSCM to replace or to expand the functionality from your existing system, then you will get some of the data through interfaces. So at the time of conversion, you update this field stating that 0003. The moment you see the business partner, you say that, oh, this business partner data is coming from the legacy system, and there is an interface that's running between legacy system and SAP to update these records. Provided if the legacy system got changed, the corresponding data in this FSCM also has to get updated. So it is easy to identify. This is all additional notes for corresponding accounting, marketing, and credit management. You will certainly get, in case if you have a credit management module in your credit management module, or at least if you have a multiple departments both at customer level as well as your customer as well as in your own business, if you have a multiple departments, then each department would like to enter their own note about this business partner. Then what we do is select this marketing department and enter the text. Then you will be able to go to the editor and enter the note. This particular field belongs to marketing. This one is your accounts. You can say that we send several remind to the customer, and the customer is not willing to make payment for so and so invoice and so and so part of the amount. Suppose if they want to put it, they can put it. That is an invoice level, but still at master data level, at something if account department would like to know, then they can put it. Say that there is a contact person changed and the earlier contact person has informed so and so information, and that's the reason that's being noted here. It is not a transactional level information, it's a master data level information, but still if you would like to maintain from accounting perspective, similarly from marketing perspective, from credit management department perspective, this editor and this section is very, very important. Certainly these process will come when you go for workshop or doing a business blueprint with your client. This type of persons will certainly come. They say that, hey, one of my cashiers, she says that some important information needs to be noted on the customer, and that is that customer always keep giving a problem to make payment for this type of invoices. where like it could be tax related invoices, or it could be transportation related invoices, or it could be handling charges. They always make deduction and make payment after deducting it. So it is always advisable to have a special look on these payments. If that information, if your cash supplier would like to put on this particular master data, then that information is irrespective of the invoices that you can maintain here. Okay, and similarly the correspondence. For sending a correspondence, if you have special instruction that customer would like to put at master data level, then you check it and you enter the credit and do that. That's how it is. Similarly, your credit department. If your credit department would like to put a note, select this and go to the editor. Then it will go and put it appropriate columns. This is the additional advantage that you will get it in FSCM credit management at business partner level. Now let us go ahead.
You know how you mentioned about the account note. So if the cash department would like to put a note there, the credit analyst will see it and they will use it, or it's going to be for?
It is only for account number. It's account department. It is not the credit. You can set up authorization at that level. Okay, that's the purpose. Okay, now how to set up authorization is the job of your basis team. Basis team and the security team will be there, who will be working with you along with the project. You can stick to them. Say that if the so and so user is logging into the system, make sure that these three are not available to them. So only these three are available. This field is not available to them. Okay, so that they'll take care of that part. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So these are the additional fields where we can see the overview, and if you want to switch to other language, these are the other fields that are available. Now coming to the payment transactions. This is in general comes from your master data, where customer makes a payment. If you have a logbox functionality, the logbox will determine your bank account. But it is almost, I can say, possible that certain areas like some companies where they have a huge customer base would like to outsource some of the activities to what do you call outsourcing. When they do outsourcing, they can give this information to the outsource team. When they say that the customer call to customer service, they say that, hey, I would like to update my bank information. I'm changing the payment details to my your business. This is from where I'm going to deducting my money and crediting to your account. Please update records. Then what you do is you'll take the ID, you see the country, you put the bank account. The control key, of course, it will determine automatically. You know that, right? Till 4.6c, IBAN number is not mandatory, but after that, IBAN number will automatically get created. Combination of the bank key, bank account, and country. There are separate OSS tools, but they are not relevant to you. When you put the country, bank key, and bank account number, it will automatically create the IBAN number. Okay? So those things you can maintain it. Similarly, if you have a credit card or debit card information that I'd like to update it, you can update here. Okay? This is a change history. It means which field got changed when, that you can see it here. This is a standard feature. It is not something that is specific to FSCM. And the card details, if you would like to delete any of the card details, select it and click here. The card that will get deleted. We will see this when we go into updating of these fields after configuration. Status. If you want to put any archiving flag and if you want to block it centrally, not released, you can put it. You know why we do it? I gave a good hint initially, but you can guess it. What is the purpose of this lock? Where else you can lock the customer? Customers can be locked at centrally, at financial, at credit management level. If you have not, I'm not sure whether you have seen this particular. If you are working on SAP, you can certainly see that. I don't know which company code it is there or not. You can block the customer and you can log the customer at sales org level. That is from SD customer master. FD level you can do it. You can also block it centrally. I just want to see this is one interview question. In general, it comes both in SAP as well as non-SAP. Okay, this is what you can say. It is a customer created in FI level. Okay, now do you see this information? Blocking data, right? Deletion flag. Blocking data means you would like to block the customer all company codes, only selected company codes. Okay, and similarly, you will also have an SD level. In SD level, you can block the customer at the sales organization level. But when we come to the business partner level, central block means the customer can be logged centrally even from credit management perspective. If the credit manager thinks that, no, this guy is not, this customer is not reasonably good and we should stop all further transaction, they simply log it. Now, not released means you create the business partner master data, but still some credit information is required to be filled. So till that we don't want to release any goods to the customer, we don't want to do any transaction, then we simply put it as a not released.
So in this case, when the central block is there, it is not going to update the master data FD02 or
no, master data will be done. The block means transaction would not be done.
Oh, okay. This is a transaction level blocking here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, say for example, if okay, the credit block will actually block all kind of postings even, right, to that customer.
Right. Yes.
So
yes. That is how the information goes to someone when they are posting the transaction.
Right. So in that case, the block that we have at the sales organization level, that also does the same thing, right?
Yes. But that is sales organization people. But if you do a sales org level, the finance department will be able to post the payments. But
right.
Sales order will not be created.
Right. But and in this case, both sales order as well as there would be a credit block when the invoice or any document is
right. That will be central block.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now where user list? In case this one is what happens is you have a relationship between the customers, that is bill to ship to relation customers. Okay. So if you want to see that where this customer is being linked with this, where else list user can be used. This is not now there's a credit worthiness. This will be seen in the credit file. You see this? You have seen this somewhere here. Yeah, the same thing. The credit worthiness data is also being shown here. The reason is this is a demo system. Somebody might have activated both the things under the same field. That's the reason it is being shown. Otherwise, it is the same thing that what you have seen in the credit profile here. Okay. Now, another important thing, very important thing, what we have to see is here is the tab on the top, credit segment data. This credit segment data, unless you give a credit segment, system doesn't know that where this particular information is coming from, for which credit segment it is applicable. Now, what do you mean by credit segment? Do you know credit controlling area?
Yeah.
Yeah, the credit controlling area is nothing but your credit segment. This happens in FSCM. Okay. Now we have few more fields like limit rules, limit defined, credit exposure percentage, and the credit block in credit management, special attention. These things we will see in tomorrow's class. Okay, credit limit control, payment behavior key figures, KPI payment behavior. These things we need a special discussion, and I will take you this through tomorrow. Any questions so far today we have?
No, nothing for me.
Okay. Anyway, we started a little late for whatsoever reason. Business partner that that field didn't come. It took a couple of minutes, and someone started late. But we will be there tomorrow on time, and I hope the timing is good for both of you.
I don't. I'm fine. How about
Yeah,
you,
that's fine.
Abhishek?
You're also fine,
Yeah,
right?
fine too.
Okay. So Python
Because
means in
he's
case
on East Coast, so he's little big,
no, is in Pacific,
time
I think.
difference.
Are you is it
Yeah.
California, Pacific? Yeah.
Oh,
West
Pacific,
Coast.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. We have seen in the past, Manisha, we have seen how the customer master data, business partner, and some of the basic config. Perhaps I may have to repeat for Abhishek in tomorrow's class. So that could be repetition for you, but a good catch up, so that you both will be on the same page going forward.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
we have seen, we have seen some important fields in business partner, particularly relating to credit profile. There are few more fields that we need to see this tomorrow. These are important. That's the reason I want to take little more time, particularly on the credit segment data. Okay. Then once this is done, then we will start looking into configuration. Right. I will send you this PowerPoint. I will also refer this PowerPoint from tomorrow onwards as well, because I just want to start looking into business partner. Once that is done, then we will start going to these slides. Okay. Anything else that you would like to know today? Any challenges or anything that you would like to let me know? And we also see the relationship tomorrow, relationship tab also. Okay. Okay, then you have a good evening. See you tomorrow then. Bye bye.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Raghav. Bye.
Yep. Double nena. Alan.
Hello.
Hi Manisha.
Hi. Feeling better, Raghava?
Yeah, much better. See, the problem is the viral with sinus, right? So it's a combination of two problems. So you remember, right, what we discussed yesterday? We discussed yesterday majority of the fields in the business partner. Okay, let us see today the remaining. We have seen address overview, identification, control, payment transaction. These things we have seen at the general business partner level. And remember that it could be an interview question, like when you go to credit, what are the fields that will come up? Then you must be in a position to answer. Extra main fields, tabs are not field, tabs are credit profile and credit worthiness and credit segment data. Okay?
Okay.
Initially it's a business partner only, but we from business partner general to if you go to credit management partner data, then you will get credit profile, credit worthiness, and on top of the credit segment data. Now, yesterday we have seen all these. Now we will see the credit segment data, please. In the credit segment data, you have three additional tabs like credit limit and control, payment behavior key figures, KPI payment behavior, key performance index payment behavior, in addition to the credit statement. We will see all these fields. And you also have relationships. The term relationship, I'm not sure whether you are aware of SAP term, but it is like in a bill to ship to. One person will be, you will be sending invoice to one customer and you are supplying material to n number of customers. But the relationship is, it's in a parent-child relation. Example, your sales order comes from X company, and X company's sister concern will be there somewhere in the country, and they'll ask you to ship the goods. Good example, if you take any, give me a second, just give me a second. Example, you have Walmart across the US, okay? And its head office says that they need such a material that is to be shipped to somewhere in North Dakota, and the bill has to go to somewhere in the head office which is there in California. Let's assume that. Similarly, California office says you need to ship the material to so and so places of my Walmarts, but the bill has to come to me. Then what we do? You have to set up a relation in FSCM, SAP FSCM module in such a way. Whenever you send material to any of these subsidiary companies, the credit check has to be happened at the time of the sales order of delivery. Similarly, if you want to set up a credit limit individually, it is possible. But in this case, what happens is business may come up and say that we want to do credit check only at head office level because head office is having a payment capacity and the sales orders will be coming there, but the goods would be shipped to different physical destinations across the US. Okay, so the rest are only shipped to address. Location only for ship to address, but bill to address is your California address. So that is what we call is a business relation, bill to ship to relation. What we call not the actual term is a partner functions. In SAP, what we call is a partner functions. But when you come to the FSCM, it is called building a relationship of the business partners. Okay. If you go to standard SAP, and perhaps you have to work this with your sales and distribution team. The sales and distribution team also will set the relation accordingly. These are all built to, these are all shipped to. And this is another interview question which will be asked during the interview. How do you correlate your relationship of bill to ship to the way that you do in SAP? Then immediately the answer is build a business partner relationship, child and parent relationship using a relationship category.
Okay. I'm writing down. Hold on. Okay. So how do you correlate?
The relationship between the child and parent, that is your bill to ship to.
Okay.
Can be set the relationship using relationship category under relationship tab.
Okay.
Okay. Now let us come back to the credit segment data. In the credit segment data, you initially provide a credit segment that where you want to create the business partner. The business partner must be belongs to at least one of the credit segment, and the credit segment will be assigned to credit controlling area. When you give a credit segment under this particular credit segment, we are not configured it, right? So that's the reason nothing is coming up. So I'm just telling you, the credit segment is nothing but one of the org structure. The credit controlling area would be defined either in FI or in SE, but under the credit controlling area, there could be several credit segments. Now, how the credit segment defined is, it depends upon the business call, whether they want to go by group of products, or whether they want to go by geographical location, or they want to go by region. Suppose all the customers, those who purchase the material from East Coast, can be one segment. Customers who purchase the material from West Coast can be a West Coast segment. Similarly, North, South, Central, whatever it is all a business call. Sometimes they say that no, we have a customer categorized based on the product. Somebody will buy the engineering product, somebody will buy the electronic product, somebody will take the services, because assume that business have all these type of business. When your client has all this business, then you can categorize that according to the segment. Now that credit segment, which will define, within that these things get defined. Okay. Now let us come. We will come to this field later. First, we'll go back to credit segment data.
Okay.
Okay. Now the credit segment, within this you see all these fields. The rules, as I told you, what is the rule? Rule is nothing but how you want to define your customer. What type of rules have to be defined to define the credit limit.
Okay.
So to get this particular field open, let's take one IRIS 80. This is also to be. This will also get open, and I'll check that there must be some setting where this field is to be editable. Right now this is not editable, but this can be made editable. We will assign that. The second thing is limit defined. Say some $15,000. Okay, you have defined $15,000 as a credit limit to 604760 customer. Okay. Now, what are the additional fields that came here? How much we requested? We requested $15,000. The exposure is 0, utilization is 0. I'll let you know that what is exposure and what is utilization.
Okay.
So valid to means still wanted that credit limit is valid. In general, we will give a credit limit for 1 year. It means the customer credit worthiness will be revisited after 1 year. If required, and if required, we will increase the credit limit, or we can also decrease the credit limit. Business may see, the question may come up during interview, like how do you decide which customer credit limit you increase, which customer limit do you decrease? What are the scenarios? That makes the question may likely to come. For that, what we will tell is, it is a business call to set standard rules across the business to visit the customer credit worthiness periodically. How periodically will be defined, like if the customer is doing a regular business and if the volume of the invoice is more, if the liability of the customer has gone up on monthly basis, and it is critical to the business to keep monitoring that customer financial capacity and keep getting credits information from the external credit agencies. if somebody is taking a business like, a huge amount of invoices, and if he is buying on, once in a week or twice in a week. So if you unattend the financial capacity of that particular customer, the outstanding invoices are likely to go up. And over a period of time, the amount would be huge, and you realize that the customer is going to be bankrupt. Then what you do, then you realize that, oh, there's a lot of amount that is coming from here. We didn't check this customer. We should have validated this customer from the external credit agency. So that type of things will come in the audit. So to prevent those type of issues, what we do is we will set up the valid date, either 6 months or 1 year, and periodically, 6 months or 1 year, you generate a report. That report is a custom report. Means you have to ask the developer to prepare that. You show the customers whose validity date is on or before October 2012. Assume it will display all these customers and propose the revisiting of the customer credit limit. You go and get the information from the credit agencies and see that yes, this customer is still having a strong financial background. He is taking, when you do analysis within your account statement, any AR account statements, yes, this customer is making payment on time, is taking the discounts, no disputes have seen, is payment behavior as well as the business with us is consistently growing. So you can increase the credit limit. On contrary, if the customer is keep on troubling to make the payment, if you have to do a number of reminders, and if he is making too much of discount, and then if he's putting a lot of price discrepancies, then what you have to do is you can reduce his credit limit. Okay. Now coming to credit exposure, how do you compose the credit exposure? The customer credit exposure is a combination of your sales order, delivery, and payment. We have a called commitment as well as an exposure. We will see that how we will do this formula, where it will display. There is a separate report for that. It will calculate and it show you. Utilization means how much invoice he has, how much credit limit he has used. Suppose you gave $10,000 of an invoice, and customer paid 5,000 out of the 10,000. Then what is the utilization? 5,000 is the utilization. Okay. Is that yeah? Initially, we allowed 15,000. One scenario is at any point of time, a sales order cannot be created for more than 15,000 US dollars if it is on credit basis. First thing. Second thing, you have 10,000 invoice, $10,000 worth of invoice you created. Okay, so you have not made any payment. The utilization is percentage. Utilization means 10,000 of 15,000 percentage. So it could be like 70%, close to 70%. Okay, this is how it says that what is the percentage of the credit limit is being left. Now the control data. And yesterday we have seen locking of the customer. This one is the blocking. So locking of business partner. This one is a blocking of credit management. Let me see if you can remember that. Yesterday we have seen that. Lock. This is central block.
Central block, yeah.
Yeah, it is under lock. Where it is in status. It is under the status tab. Okay. Under the status tab block, you have an option to centrally block. But when
before we move on, can I just ask and get clear about that utilization? So whatever percentage it shows, that's open, right? That's used, or that is open for them to use? Like, how you said 70%?
See, suppose you have a credit limit, you have a credit card of $15,000. Assume that your credit card for $50,000. You have already spent for 10,000 for your air tickets, for your shopping. You spent 10,000. Okay. Now, what is the percentage of 10,000 in that 15,000?
7.
Close to 65 something.
Close to, yeah.
Let us take a calculation, right? Okay, see it is 10,500 something it comes. It means close to 69% something. It says that 69% will come here. How this will calculate it is the sales order, those are open. Okay, the sales order, those are open. The value of the total sales order and delivery put together will become the amount get deducted from here, and it will show this is the percentage of utilization.
Okay.
This is useful only for the credit department who has access to this business partner to see that how much credit he had used. If you try to create an invoice for 15,000, say 16,000, first of all, it will not allow to create $15,000 worth of invoice. What SAP does is, it creates a sales order. It creates a sales order and it blocks it.
Okay.
It will not allow to release the goods. It will not allow to make manufacturing. It will not allow to do shipping, anything. It just creates a sales order in the system. Why it got blocked? How do you know that? There is a transaction which I want to show it later, but okay, anyway here there is a transaction called VKM4. Okay, SD documents. What this particular transaction does is, when you execute it, it will display all the sales orders those are got blocked. Why did they block? They block if the credit limit utilization is excess to the actual requested credit limit.
Okay.
Okay. Now what the manager does, credit manager does, in the morning when he comes to the office, first he will run this transaction. Right? When he runs the transaction, when he runs this transaction, it will show all the customers whose sales order got blocked. Then he will go and see that why this sales order got blocked. Oh, his credit limit utilization has gone more than 15,000. That is the reason system has blocked it. Now what is the options available? Now the system says that, okay, either you can reject it or you can accept it. If they accept it for 16,000, the utilization shows more than 100%. 110%, 115%, whatever it is. Okay, so this will give an alert to the manager. This particular customer has drawn the credit limit more than assigned. Because you in AR you focus only on receiving the money, but for the credit manager they don't want to draw the customers more than the given credit limit. That's the first thing. Second thing what happens is, your credit manager at the same time doesn't want to lose the business. Okay, if credit limit is 15,000, he is drawing one more thousand, say 16,000. But he's a regular customer making a payment, or he said that he already made a payment due to technical reasons that is not reflected in your books of accounts. When it is not resolved in books of accounts, it means the credit limit is supposed to reduce since the customer already made a payment. If the utilization should have been reduced because the payment is received. The customer says he made a payment, but for whatever reason in your business, that amount is not being accounted in the books of accounts. So, by analyzing that, the credit manager will release that particular sales order for further processing. I'll give you a good example. So you have your credit card of 15,000. Assume that, and what you did, you made a payment of $5,000. It was taken out from your account also, but it is not reflecting in a credit card company. When you went for purchasing, it got declined because now you have done more than a credit limit. Then what you do, you call up your credit card company. How do you say that the payment is not made? Take the copy of my bank statement, or take the screenshot of my bank statement that the amount paid to your credit card company is being deducted from my bank account. They said that, oh, hold on a second, they do analyze, or they realize that the cash is received but not been accounted to credit card account. Then immediately what they do, okay, go ahead and you do shopping, we will apply the cash. Either they do manual cash application there, or if temporarily they will allow to utilize another 5,000. Okay, so it is the same process here also as well. Right? Now coming to limit not defined. You remember that, right? What is the limit not defined? Limit not defined is for those customers where you don't want to do any credit limit check as well as no limit is required. The reason is, as I told you, if you are export customer as well as if you are intercompany customers, you don't have any credit limit for that. Okay, the rules also will specify that you don't have to have any credit check for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now coming to the, is our answer, utilization is answered, right?
Yes.
Okay, the utilization is nothing but whatever the open invoices as well as the open sales order deducted from your credit limit is the utilization. Right, now coming to the control data, block and credit management, special attention, block reason, resubmission on. These are all the control fields where the customer, sorry, our credit manager wants to keep control on this business partner. Who else will keep an eye as well as the control on the customer? Particularly your finance department and credit department. These two people will keep control. What finance department holds is whether the customer is making a payment right time, whether the customer makes right directions, whether tax document that they has to give it to your business, that is your customer will have any tax benefits, you will have some certificates and letters. Those things also he has to give. So the finance department will have a control from their standpoint. But from credit controller perspective, he would like to have a control like if the customer payment behavior is good or not, if the customer is a defaulter, if the customer has any legal cases, or if the customer has any enhancement, right, what we call, if any obligation is there to deduct money and all that stuff. If they have any such type of legal obligation, the credit manager, what he does is he blocks in credit management so that no sales order will be processed. They created and blocked but not the processed. All the blocked credit, all the blocked sales orders have to be released manually by credit manager using this BKM4 transaction. Okay, so in how many types you need? You have a blocked in credit management. When you have blocked for credit management, you specify the reason for the block. So that tomorrow, if anybody has seen this, oh, okay, this is the one that the block could reason. There's the reason, any reason it could be. Credit limit rejected, credit limit invalid, score valid, past due, oldest open item. These are all the reasons. Example, credit limit exceeded means, as I told you, if it's a 15,000 and customer is drawing the goods more than 15,000, then you can block it. And no insurance available. Sometimes customer will be asked to take an insurance. Particularly, there are certain customers who are, kind of a risk. Whatever the reason, you have some risk is there. To protect the risk, you will approach some credit agencies. Yes, there are certain credit agencies across the globe who will take the responsibility on behalf of the customers and make a payment. They will say that, yes, this customer is having a good financial capacity, but you have your own doubts. Then what you do is, okay, you said that this customer position is good, but I still have a problem. He says, no, nothing to, I'll give the insurance to you. If you have those type of insurance you expect, but still the customer could not provide that insurance, then you can put that reason. Fraud possible, insufficient creditworthiness, credit to be approved. So for these reasons, you can define on your own. And we'll let you know the config settings when we go how to define these reasons. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. From here also you can do it. If you click it, you can straight away go and you can define here. But we'll let you know when we go to the configuration steps. Then we will see that how it's to be defined.
So
right.
Just yeah, that's true.
Go ahead.
General question, like, when this happens, the credit limit is exceeded. Do they, like, what is your experience? Like in my company right now, some customers, they override it. They sign the override and then they release the order.
It is the same thing here, that override may be as a manual function. Here it is the discretion of the controller. The credit manager, it is the control of the credit manager who will be the part of the finance department, but he will look purely the customer credit information related. Okay, the credit controller, he will have a discretion. If you will run the business, okay, see, I think this will help you. Let me execute this. Once you execute this, at least you will see that what actually will be there. So, you know, for execution, you have to execute either function A or this button, whatever it is. When it is excess utilized, initially that particular order will go and block. It is in the block state. Okay?
Okay.
We have a functionality called workflow. What that workflow does is, it will go and put the list of those open items in the credit controller area bucket. Then he will have, see, this is how the screen is. These are all the these are all the credit controlling area. These are the documents. This is all the sales organization. Then you have an option, either reassign it or reject it or forward to authorization.
Okay.
Okay, you can reject it. If you just simply reject it, then the order will be in the blocked status. They may not be able to process the sales order. Okay, combination of these, this order gets blocked. These are all, again, when it's created, what this we will come to that little later. But since we are now asked anyway, then I just want to show that this is how this is how the trade controller will take appropriate step, whether forward it to somebody's authorization, like in trade controller manager will be there and his boss will be there, because customer is a regular customer, he is making good payment and there's no issue, but for whatsoever reason he exceeded the credit limit, then you forward it to the authorization of your manager's manager, then he will approve it. Or by having a discretion, if you want to reject it, you can reject it. If you want to reassign it to somebody, you can reassign it, who can do further analysis whether to do it or not. And if you want to release it, you see this flag, just release it. The block order, these are all block orders. If you select and release it, then this particular order get released, then further process would be done. What is the further process? Manufacturing, picking, shipping, delivery, that can be done. Okay?
Okay. Okay. Sorry to ask you about, it was not in the flow.
Manisha, see, the relation between student and teacher is pretty clean. I told you that honest, whatever the questions you have to ask. Otherwise, it's going to be a one-side show. And the second thing is, perhaps you may not be having a justification. You can go ahead. I told you, if I have to take one session more, I'll take.
Okay.
No problem at all. You are spending your money as well as the time, and you have certain expectations. And when I'm experienced in all these areas, I don't hesitate to answer any question anytime.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, that's how the difference between the experienced faculty and fresh faculty. Okay, now coming to special attention. This checkbox is, it will tell you this customer required a special attention. Could be any reason. He raised some escalations, he has some special concerns, or business also has some special concerns that this particular customer is to be paid special attention. If you check this, then system will prompt you, this customer requires special attention. Okay, why we need, it all depends on the business need. Now coming to the resubmission date, it's an excellent, this is an important. Resubmission date means system will, you can either run a report or you can use a standard transaction to know, because you have 100,000 of customers, assume that. Which customer credit limit or which customer you have to visit frequently, how do you know? You don't know. System has to tell you. Guys, during this month, you have to check the credit limit of these many customers. Or during this month, these many customers required to be visited from so-and-so critical aspect, or from a legal aspect, from a retention policy, or as a part of a promotion policy. It means this customer required a kind of a further analysis or follow up, and system has to propose to me. How do you know that? When you put the resubmission date here, on so-and-so date, system will propose that this customer has to be revisited. Resubmission, nothing but a revisited. Okay? How do you know that? You don't, every day you'll not go to every customer and see, right? But when you first 31st January 2013 means on this day, this system will tell you, you have to make special attention to this customer during this period. Okay, that resubmission date you will put it. Now coming to information category. Collateral, check exception, credit insurance. This further information category is a country-specific information. From US perspective, what we do is we will have different type of insurance agencies, external agencies, no values are fund. You will put the credit agencies information, and you'll see that what are the individual stuff they say, specify, how much amount of the credit limit will be given, which currency from what date to what date, and what date did you enter, okay? And if you deleted, when did you delete it? If you have to revisit the resubmission date, what we call, then text field, if anything, that we have to put it. It is all your external credit agency information that you maintain here. This also we will see from where it will get. Okay? For this, we have to do configuration. If you do configuration, these values will come here. Once you are done here, tomorrow we start doing the configuration. When you see the configuration, where it will come, that you will see that. Right?
Yeah.
And again, when you have a system, give a transaction BP, put the business partner number, and start looking into these fields. Wherever you feel that if you don't remember, just highlight that, press F1, you will get the documentation. Okay? Some will have some explanation, some will not further explanation, but you can try wherever it is there. Suppose credit segment, I did it. It's the credit segment, alphanumeric key of the credit segment. If you click this, then it will tell you what actually the credit segment it is. You know, FIN, FSCM means finance, financial supply chain management, CR means credit. What is the 3-character code for credit management? UKM. I've shown, I think I remembered, I've shown that to you.
UKM.
Yeah, I think I remembered I've shown that initially. We'll show you that, because by seeing that what it is, you'll be able to tell. UKM. UKM stands for credit management. This is our German terms, they put it right. So credit management goes with UKM, and your collection management goes with UDM. Dispute also, I think, UDM. Yeah, UDM.
Oh, it's the same, the collection and dispute is same UDM.
Yeah, UDM, dispute management. They say F means the financial portion of the dispute management. U stands for FSCM related. Okay. So these are credit. UKM means, you say the credit management related transaction. BP stands for business partner. Okay. The rest of the transaction, we will see that these are transactional data will come here. See, I think, I don't know whether when you attended your finance training, they tell you that, you know, by looking into a posting, like a document, a transactional document, you'll be able to identify what document is that, where it got debited, where it got credited. I'm sure that they have told you, and you know, you are aware of that. But anyway, that's not part of this course, but I'm just checking. Because when you go to the business, when you are there in the consulting life, people will say, hey, this is the problem that I have. Can you show me how this document got posted? By looking into the document, you'll be able to see that what document it is. You know what is ADKMS?
No.
ADKMS. I don't know the line who has given. A stands for assets, D stands for customers, K stands for vendors, M stands for material, S stands for general ledger.
Okay.
Yeah, those things you should know. But if you know that, you can easily identify what document is that. Okay, we'll see that when you go transactional, that I will let you know. Right? Any questions on the screen?
No.
Why we use this information? This information is used for updating with the external credit agencies information. Okay? Additional information credit management. External credit data will be maintained here. Special attention, where the customer requires special attention, to propose the system to resubmit and so on so day to revisit, you do the checkbox. Blocked-in credit management means, if you have done a blocked-in credit management, you'll be able to do payment transactions in finance, but you cannot do anything in sales and distribution as well, sorry, in sales order creation as well as credit management. This is only a block in credit. And what about the other one? Do you remember that the status field that you have seen? How it is different? The difference is that is being centrally locked.
Yeah.
I think status is centrally blocked, I believe, right? Status.
So do we check mark that? I mean, for the blacked in credit management in control data tab?
We should not do it unless there is a need.
Okay.
That is a feature provided by SAP to do it as and when you want. If you don't do it regularly. This is a center block. Okay? Block. Yeah, you're there, right? Okay. And the credit management is only for block in credit management. These things you have to do it. When you do this, the impact will be only credit segment level. Now coming to the payment behavior key figures. The payment, this is another important feature of FSCM credit management. Highest dunning level, oldest open item, last payment, key figures, day sales outstanding amount without cash discount, percentage with cash discounts in areas, max total sales and maximum sales collection amount. These are percentages. These fields get updated either on daily basis or periodically based on the program that get executed. Now what it indicates, these fields are get automatically populated. You would not be doing any sort of manual exercise here. Highest dunning level means, you know dunning, right? You might have heard that dunning during your accounts receivable training in FI.
Yeah.
Dunning is nothing but sending a reminder, payment reminder to the customer. And in the payment reminders in SAP, you can set at different levels. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and so on up to 7 levels. And each level will indicate different type of a tone of your cash accounts receivable thing, saying that initially you say politely, second time you say that warn it, third time you started charging interest, fourth time you said that, if you don't make payment, we will do a legal action. Like that, you will send those dunning. So, depends upon the payment behavior and payment history of the customer, this will get updated. When did you send the dunning and what is the level, first level, second level, for how much amount notice you send the dunning. When the dunning is created, what is the corresponding document number of dunning notes have been sent to customer. This get updated here. You don't see this information in finance or in accounts receivable. You see that only in FSCM module. Oldest open item.
So when the businesses who don't have FSCM, yeah, then they use some other method for dunning?
Yeah. No, in SAP FI you have a dunning.
Oh,
dunning is there.
Okay.
Oh, didn't they tell you in FI training?
No.
No, it should have been there. Come on. Why it should not be there? Dunning is there pretty much. This is your accounting module, right? This is financial accounting. This is accounts receivable. Then you see dunning will be there. Periodic processing, dunning. This is a part of your financial accounting module. So the dunning will be there. In dunning, come on. How can FI training will be there without dunning? There would be dunning. It's part of periodic process. Dunning notices get generated. When dunning happened, okay, it updates the master data of the customer. Let us see if we have that.
Unless I don't remember that he showed us, but yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. Let us see that. it is not showing company code data. Do you see corresponding? You see this dummy.
Okay.
Okay. When you execute this, when you execute the dunning transaction, sorry, when you execute the dunning transaction, system will update these fields automatically. Okay. So when did you done last time? It will tell you on certain date we done this customer the last time. And this is the information of the customer master dunning, but you don't see this information like when did you done last time, what is the current level of dunning, what document is generated when you created dunning, number of dunning notices you have sent. So these things get updated here. But whereas in the customer master, it updates who has received the dunning, when we did done him last time, who is the dunning clerk and dunning block, because some of the customers you don't want to do dunning, then you can block here. This is a part of your customer master data.
Okay.
Okay. So your dunning level, there will be system also update the dunning level depends upon the number of levels that you have chosen. What I told you, right? In the level 1 you ask politely, level 2 you say that you will charge interest, level 3 you already charged the interest, level 4 you send a legal reminder, level 5 goes to copy to legal department who will take the action. So those levels system will automatically pick up here. Okay. Now the oldest open item. Oldest open item means customer has been purchasing different material from last few months. And you don't have any control unless you go and see the account statement. In account statement you see number of documents. 50,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 60,000. And you don't know which one is the oldest pending for last few months. You don't know that. So instead of doing a report, doing all the calculation, what FSCM SAP does, it generates in the business partner, it get update these fields showing that this is the oldest open invoice, document number is oldest open invoice, and this is the invoice amount. Net due date is say almost more than 3 months, and days in arrears. Days in arrears is 2.5 months. You know, right? What is the net due date and days in arrears? Net due date is and so date. From that date to number of days in arrears, it will show these are arrears. Similarly, last payment. When was the last payment that was done by the customer? So that document number, that payment document number, amount, and payment made on, these things are also available here. Right? Now similarly, key figures, day sales outstanding. What are the average number of days? There is a formula for calculating day sales outstanding. That formula you have to put in the configuration. Based on that, it will show you this is the amount. With the cash discount this, without cash discount this. Without cash discount is this much is the amount. With cash discount is this much is the amount. This is the total sales, and the maximum sales from this customer across last few months is so and so, and this is the collection amount from the customer so and so. See, without going to a report, if you simply go to this customer business partner, then you will get all this payment behavior information. This is called payment behavior key figures. Right? This is the important data that is required for analyzing the business partner. Okay? Now, this is key KPI payment behavior. In case if you want to set up any key payment indicator payment behavior, that you can put it here. But most important thing is these are the fields as well as these fields.
What is KPI for?
Key performance index. Key performance index.
Okay.
It typically says that how you want to evaluate your customer, how he is, how you want to index him, whether it's a top payer or medium or less or behavior. Those things, if you want to show that some index, that you can do it. Okay, so these are all your master data related, business partner related. Would you like to know anything as of now?
No.
Okay, and remember, tomorrow you will have a small questions around here. At least I said there will be 5 questions I will be asking you, and see that if you can answer, then we will go for configuration part.
Okay.
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 Okay then. If you have
So
any
we will
questions,
have class tomorrow, right?
I told you right till 30th we will have regular classes.
Okay.
Okay. From first onwards we will see weekly once or twice during weekdays, and during weekends we will have another 2 classes.
Okay.
Are you okay to Friday, Saturday and Sunday, or do you need a break?
No, no, it's fine.
Okay then, that's fine. In case if you have anything, let me know by email.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay then, have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.
Session starting is on site. Hi Manisha.
Hi Raghav, how are you?
Good. How about you?
Okay. Do you call your name is Raghava or Raghava?
Raghav.
Raghav, okay. We call Raghav in Gujarati, so.
Okay, okay. So are you from Gujarat?
Yeah.
Which place of Gujarat?
Actually, we are from Ahmedabad, but I grew up in Bombay.
Okay, okay. I was in Bharuch for a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
We were close to Ankaleshwar. Actually, we were implementing some SAP project there. So I was there for close to 2 years, not complete 2 years, close to 2 years.
From Bharuch, you mean?
Yep.
Wow.
That's industry area, right?
Yeah.
I know. Okay. Let us have a quick review on the questions. Let me see if you can answer any of these questions, then we'll go to the session.
You're already gonna test me?
It should be. It should be in that way. It's not like, I'm not expecting to answer 100%. At least whatever you learn, you should know that this is important. But anyway, these questions comes to you. These are all the interview questions. At least you'll get 2 to 3 such type of slides for each module. Okay. For FSCM credit management view, collection, dispute, like that. So what role a BP has to extend to make FSCM credit management to work?
Credit management.
Right, credit management role. Okay. At what level credit check happens? What transaction is used to release or reject the block orders? Credit check happens at 2 levels. One is at sales order, the second one is at delivery. Okay. Now what transaction is used to release or reject the block orders? VKM4. KM stands for 4, number 4. Okay. So KM stands for credit management. VKM4 is the transaction. What are the key tabs in business partner master data in FSCM? We have seen this yesterday.
Yes, key tabs in business partner.
One is a credit profile.
Credit profile, yeah.
And the other one is credit worthiness.
Credit worthiness, okay.
Yeah, this is another question typically that comes. Can standard SAP credit management module can be active while FSCM is enabled? There are 2 credit managements, right? FSCM credit management is there and standard credit management is also there.
So can standard SAP credit management module can be active when
while FSCM is enabled? Yes, no. You can work only with one. Okay. What is a credit segment? This we will see today. Okay, this will give the definition of the credit segment. Okay. Can we make the system to create BP when a customer master data is created or vice versa? Can we make the system to create business partner when a customer master data is created or vice versa?
Yeah.
Means all. Yes, this is what that functionality is called. Master data synchronization. Okay.
So this means that master data has been created, and we can create the business partner, right?
Yes, exactly. It's a good question. When my customer master is already created, for that you can create new customers, new business partners. Okay, but going forward, once SAP go lives with FSCM, when you create customers in SAP, it automatically creates a business partner. Okay, what is credit segment? This doesn't got repeated. What is the credit
I think
exposure?
yesterday you were saying it has rules to define credit limit, something.
Credit exposure. Credit segment is the rules we will define under the segment. Credit segment is the area where it is one of the org structure.
Okay.
And it is one of the org structure. You have credit controlling area. Under that you have a credit segment. Within the credit segment, you will define the customers as well as you will assign the credit limits and check rules and all that stuff. What is credit exposure? Credit exposure is the sum of your open orders as well as open deliveries and open bills, that is in receivables. What are the key fields in payment behavior tab?
Key fields in payment behavior, key performance.
One is dunning, the second one is the dunning, you'll see. The second one is the maximum open item. The third one is the last date of payment. Okay, we'll see this again. I'll try to write.
Okay.
Give a couple of main features of FSCM credit management.
Couple of main features of FSCM credit management.
One is the credit rule engine, and the second one is the real-time interface between FSCM and external credit agencies.
No. Hold on, I can't hear you.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm sorry I missed that. I was not able to.
Yeah, a couple of features of FSCM. One is credit engine to set up the credit rules and define the credit limit. The second one is a real-time integration with external credit agencies. Okay, real-time integration with external credit agencies. What are different types of credit checks?
Credit checks.
Static credit check and dynamic credit check. Okay. Well, these are the one payment behavior key figures. Payment behavior tab, right? This is the payment behavior key figure tab. You have dunning, oldest open item, last payment, and you also have the key figures. PS4. These are all the things. Okay.
Last payment, yes.
Okay. So you will have a couple more slides after the end of this session. Okay.
You know, I did not. I am still having a server access problem on my end, so I was not able to view these screens that, as you mentioned yesterday.
That's fine, but you know, make sure that you will go through these questions. These are interview questions. If not today or tomorrow, later, anytime, you will get a couple more slides for this.
Okay.
Now let us see the configuration today. There are different type of master data under credit risk monitoring. One is credit segments, defined rating procedure. The third one is defined customer credit rule. The fourth one is the defined formulas. Create rule for scoring and credit limit calculation. Create risk classes and defining attributes to display. So these are all master data that we will create. See one after another. This particular credit segment will use the credit segment 1000. This is an IDES system, and the currency in which you want to opt. You there, right? You're able to hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So the name, if you want, you can change it. You put the currency. You put the currency euro because 1000 use the currency euro, and exchange rate time M. M stands for average. Standard, the standard translation average rate. Okay, that stands for M.
So credit segment is something, I mean, you used was already there?
It is a standard SAP one. If you want,
It's a standard, okay.
Yeah, standard IDES demo one.
But the businesses, do they create one or they just use the standard?
They create a new one. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter how you want to create a simple, create a new entry. Okay. Then if you want 1001, credit segment for trying currency USD, additional contribution for me. The same is a very simple creation of credit segment. Okay. But some dependent entries will be there. That's the reason I am using the existing one.
Okay.
Okay. It depends rating procedure. You have a different type of rating procedure. If you are expecting to receive rating data from different credit agencies, then we will put what rating procedure you want to use. Okay, the DNB, like external one, X2. These two are the standards. The rating 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B. This is how the rating and ranking, customer rating and customer ranking will come from external agencies. Okay. That's how it comes. So which one you want to use? It should have been defined here before you assign that in the customer master. That's the business partner. These are in German, but in fact, okay. Now let us see that if you want to see this one, how it will be. You need to take this. The customer will be given rating 1A1 and ranking 2 if the customer financial capacity is from 794K to 749K. Okay, like that you define the customers. The rating procedure you will define, and within the rating procedure you define the rates. How do you rate this customer? Suppose if you go in interview, they say, how do you rate yourself in FSCO? I rate it 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, 9.5. Like good, medium, average, or very good, exceptional. Like that, when you have a different type of a customers with a different financial capacity to rate the credit limit, then you will see what rank you can give him, what rating you can give him. First you define here, then you send it in the master data. Okay, so this is one of the important setup. And some of the business, when they go for implementation, they'll ask you, can you give some standards? These are some of the standards. Okay, so ranking, you see that 1, if it is 1, 9 million to 9 million, 99,000 to 999,000. If it is 7, if you want to see 49 million to 49 million, it is really definable, but business would like to know that how you want to define the rating. This is how you do rating. Good, high, good, limited, free. So these are all different rating. Why you define like this means there are some small customers, they pay very on time and they are good in the market. There are very big customers, they are also good and pay, sometimes some customers, they are not on time, they always keep queries. So depends upon the financial capacities and the invoices, and using a different parameters, external credit agencies will rate them. They have their own parameters and rating that you maintain this table. Any questions here?
No. So this is like a credit limit defined between that range?
No, it is not limit. To define the limit, you will rate them.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Okay, yeah, define customer credit group. This one is, you group it depends upon your business need. Do you remember that when we have a customer master, business partner?
Business partner.
Yeah, in the business partner we have this field. From here, those field values will come here. One second. Do you see this customer group?
Yeah.
It is the same customer group that comes from here. Corporate, small, medium, subsidiaries. Corporate, small, medium, and subsidiaries. Okay. Similarly, the segments, whatever you define here, the same segments will ask here, system will ask here to take one of them. But we didn't assign this, we didn't activate that. That's the reason you didn't get, but it will come, the trade segment will be activated. Let me check why it didn't come here. Different formulas. You have the formulas here. Where are the formulas? These formulas we will define it to define the credit worthiness, like it's a calculate the limit or for calculating the score. How you, for what purpose you want to define the formula? There are two different purposes you can define the formula. One is for calculating the score. The second one is the directly calculating for the credit limit. You can define it. One is for the CS stands for contract accounting, which we don't have here. Normally we don't use it for credit management. We use it for contract accounting in case of industry-specific solutions. Industry-specific solution means IS retail, IS utilities, and insurance sector. Those are all industry-specific. Those things they will have in a contract accounting. Somebody different for different training. Limit for B2B means business to business. Okay. And the second one is B2 score for B2B. This one is defining for the score. The other one is for credit limit. Score for business to business. The other one is the limit, credit limit. You can define the formulas for either one purpose. I'm just taking the existing one. If you want to use, you can define that. these are the rules that if you would like to define new rule, then you can say that the rules have to be defined within the formulas can be brought into rules if you want to define the rules. So let us take one of the rules for new customers. This is the score that we will, this is the formula that we will assign here, that is defined in earlier step. Okay, you see the G score?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we want to define that score, we will define here. Okay, similarly, it doesn't allow to make change. It allows changes, but it says total changes. And similarly for formulas, we define this one for formulas. You see this? Whatever the formula that we define in the earlier step, that will come here. Formula. So the one which we define is the earlier steps, that comes here. Now for the rating procedures, what are the rating procedures they are defined earlier, they will display here. These three things, we need to make an assignment. Whatever we have made in the rules, as well as score, as well as credit limit calculation, they have to be assigned to the formulas. The rule engine will talk about how this particular credit rating happens. I'll take you to the slide. The credit management structure, the rules engine, what happens is you will have a credit controlling area, then you will have a credit segment that you have to define. Then that will be there in the master data, and master data will have a credit profile, and the credit profile will have a credit rules, rating procedure, credit limit, risk clauses. Put together all these things, what we call is the credit rule engine. This will be assigned in the customer credit profile. Where do you use the credit profile? If you see the credit profile, this is the credit profile that where we have to assign all that. The rules you have to assign here. Okay? The rules we have to assign here. Because that's what we have defined in the config steps. In this fashion, your structure, credit management structure will get formed. Okay? The rule engine nothing but the credit rules that we define. That is a combination of 4. That is rule, limit, risk classes, rating procedure. These things will have the credit profile. Then that credit profile is available in the master data. This is what we've done.
So I have one doubt here. You know how you said credit segment, but if do we as a FSCM job person, responsible person has to create the credit segment, because you said it's interdependent on some other things. That's why we are using standard one. So what do we?
See, why I'm using it is, why I'm using the standard credit segment is, SAP, if you want to do the whole thing new, then we will spend a lot of time in debugging. If any error comes, that you will be debugging it. So if it's the same thing whether you define it or whether you use the standard. From training standpoint, it doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
But when you start doing the new things, any error comes, you spend unnecessary time in debugging that. Then you'll be losing it in the training session. That's the critical part that you have to understand.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I understand. But in real time, like they have to do that, right? They have to create it from the beginning.
In the real time, what happens is, before you building the system, you have to design it. How many credit statements that business would like to have? Okay, it is not one credit segment that a business will look for. Certainly, they will have n number of credit segments. Why do they have credit segment? I told you, right? When you go to the business, they will define the structure of the credit management. In the FSCM statements, how do they define? They see that what is the total business, how many customers I have. Suppose that the customer X, is there across the country, and he will purchase multiple products. But at the same time, the credit management team structured in such a way, they keep monitoring the products, major products. I have a major products of A, major products of B. I want to define the credit limit for the customers depends upon the product they purchase, right? Then you may have 2 or 3 credit segments depends upon the product. The another thing is you will have geography location, north, east, west, south. Then what they do is they have customers, more customers in north, less customers in south, and moderately good in east coast as well as in west coast. Even in the organization, you have a separate teams who will form and keep monitoring the credit limits of the customers. The entire 100,000 of customers, one person would not be able to monitor that. Then what they do is they will maintain a team of people who keep controlling, who keep monitoring the customers and the credit limits. Because customers also will come with their persons on the credit limits, right? So you need a team of people. Then how you classify the people? You classify the people as a credit segment. This is how the credit segment structured, and these many customers will be assigned to this credit segment, and this credit segment and these customers will be handled by so and so person in the organization. So that tomorrow any recoveries to any collections, any credit issues to be discussed with the customer, you will talk to the credit manager of that particular geography. So there are different parameters and way of setting up the system. Accordingly, you will set up the credit segment. That's the reason I said that you will have n number of credit segments when you go to the real-time business. You will not have one credit segment. Again, what happens is, if you have a multiple credit segments and the customer will be purchasing from all these credit segments, then the credit limit will be defined at a credit segment level also.
Okay.
It means, suppose if the customer has to be given say $50,000 worth of credit limit, out of 50,000, they will be given 40,000 for purchasing of so and so products, only 10,000 for purchasing of other products. The cost of the other products is very minimum. The price is very minimum, and some of the products cost is 10,000. It means when you give a credit limit for 40,000 for the products having high cost, the customer cannot purchase more than 40,000. Yeah, 40,000. And if you have a small items, the customer keep purchasing it and he will keep making payment. But it really doesn't matter, because it's the small value of the amount, and the person who is less experienced will be assigned for monitoring the credit areas. These are all the day-to-day operations that the credit controlling manager, the credit controller, will keep monitoring it. Now again, there is another way of looking into the credit segment. Suppose that what I call is a product hierarchy. Depends upon the product hierarchy, you can also define your product segment. Sometimes you have profit centers. Profit center means the business will operate 2 production areas. Production area A, production area B. One is the profit center, the other one is the profit center B. If you want to do that, also you can classify the credit segments. So with real time, the volume of the activities and the requirements and the business process that you need to understand before we design it. While you're designing it itself, you see how many credit loops are required, how many credit score formulas are required, how many credit limit formulas are required, how many credit segments are required, how many credit segments are required. These things have to be classified in the document and get it reviewed by the business and approve it before you start even commencing the system building. Okay. So that's the reason when you go to the real time, it would be different. Different means unless you know the concepts, you may not be able to interpret it. Another challenge that what you will get when you go to the business is what you are talking, I mean from a SAP standpoint, what they are talking from business standpoint, there should be sync, there should be in sync. Business say, when you say a cash supplier in accounts receivable, but there is no 100% the term cash applier in SAP. Okay, so they say post process, the cashiers they say, cash clerk they say. The terms are a bit different. right? So those things, those things, we need to interpret it. That is the challenge. It's not a challenge. That is the role of the SAP consultant when you go there. So this particular structure you should know. It's important. What you do in the master data level, what you do in the structure level, what you do in the rules engine level. Okay. Anything you would like to say again?
No, thanks.
Yeah. So these are all the master data. There is a risk. Create a risk classes. The risk classes A, B, C, D, E we have defined here, but you can also define more. This is SAP recommended approach. When you define a score, if the customer is classified as A, then the score is from 80 to 200. If the customer is defined as a B, low default risk, that is 60 to 79. Then medium risk class means that it could be 40 to 59. Remember, it cannot overlap. If overlaps, it gives an error. See, when it gives overlap, it gives error because 30 to 40 is already defined somewhere. The 30 to 40 is in a different bucket. 39 is coming here, 40 is coming here. So if you want to classify, you have to classify in such a way that you have to maintain the intervals from 0 to 100. If you want, you can split this. 60 to 79, right? You make it 60 to 70, 70 to 79.
Okay.
Because the first one I have not deleted. One second. That's the 60 to 69. So then what I have to do is I have to delete this. I have to delete the whole structure. If I have to change it, I have to change this like 62, 72, 79, 62, 69, 52, 59, then you say 42, 49. If you want to add, you can add one more. Okay, like that. This is how you have to define the risk classes. Then you say that under what risk classes that you will be coming. But I'm not going to save this because already defined and I don't want to change those settings. Okay?
Yeah.
If you say I have to let error, you say that term must be different because A is already defined. But it's nothing but rating. Risk class rating score is how do you define the score.
So if like customer falls into that range, it's a high risk or low risk or medium risk.
Exactly. That's all the risk category that we define. That's it. But again, how you define this rating is, it depends upon the information that you collect from the customer. When you go for a credit limit, you will tell the customer, give me this information. That information we will see in the formulas when we go that what type of information we collect from the customer to define is a credit score. Okay, like what is his name, how long he has been into in the business, is it an individual or the corporate, what is the financial capacity, he has any financial loss in the past. or he has done any bankruptcy, or if it is a corporate, what are the number of employees that they have, what is his share market value of that particular company. Those things he will evaluate it. If it's an individual, you see that he's a minor, he's a major, or a married, what is the family composition, if they want, because everybody will be individually treated. If required, they take social security number and go to the credit agencies and see that how this credit rating is there based on social security number. All these things that they will collect it. Based on that, you will say that, hey, well, how can we categorize this particular customer? Okay. So if you would like to see that these things define credit group, you have seen customer credit group, corporate, small and subsidiaries. And the second thing is the formula, credit rating procedure. For that, first we will define the rating, how we do this, ranking the rating also, how you to rank the customers in case if you want to do that, that also you will define. Then you will also will have formulas. The formulas will be done for two purposes. This is a formula how you want to name it. Then the formulas will have two types of purpose. One is for the scoring. The other one is for limit definition, for defining the limit. The score is the same thing, score what you want to use it here. And if it's the limit, you can use a different formula for the limit. Okay, these are clearly definable. How long it is valid also you can say, you can specify that. Okay. These are little tricky, it seems to be, but when you start working on the system, then you can understand that. There are two different things when you go to the business. Business will expect a lot of things from you without giving the information. And similarly happens, you need from the business what actually they needed. And initially you will have certain type of hiccups like, to understand each other. And the customers are so smart. Customers means the business is so smart. They will always keep engaging the multiple vendors, multiple consultants, and try to keep evaluating them. But they will never come out of, knowledge that, they have been inquiring it. The intention is they want to get the best out of the consultants. This is only for knowledge's sake. Perform yearly master data distribution for several FI systems. Perform configuration of SAP NetWeaver PI. Perform configuration for connection of UKMs to SAP NetWeaver process integration. Configure SAP credit management for UKMS. When you don't have this type of a node, then it is only for documentation. Okay. This business partner information what they're providing is only the steps that what you have to do. You don't have real configuration steps that you have to do here. These are the what they say that. Now, what this documentation says. Perform ALE, application link enabling master data distribution for several FI systems. If you have multiple finance systems, like multiple systems, you have a legacy systems, you have an Oracle system, you have an SAP system, and that customer data it has to go to for multiple applications, including CRM, customer relationship management. If it has to go to multiple systems, you will define a distribution system where the data gets distributed across these applications. If you have that type of scenario, then you will see that what actually you have to do it. Indeed, you would not be doing it. They have a separate system who will maintain the master data. They will be doing it. But this is the knowledge that you need to have. Oh, there is a separate way of doing that in SAP in case there are multiple systems maintaining the same master data. Okay. So this setup would not be done by you. This setup would be done by ABAP people. Okay. ALE is nothing but application link enabling. It goes with the EDI, that is an IDOCS. And the people who would be working technical side, they'll take care of it, nothing to worry. Perform configuration in SAP NetWeaver PA integration. The configuration, whatever we need, we'll be doing it, but here explaining the steps, what is to be done, what is not to be done. And this is also nothing with the documentation purpose. Whatever we are doing is a process integration only. In FI subsystem, when the data has to pass from multiple systems. I will show you one slide here. When you do a credit check, do you see this? What is this? SAP Exchange Infrastructure. Infrastructure. XI is an older version and PI is the advanced version of XI. Okay? XI is exchange infrastructure, PI process integration, which will be the subsystems of SAP, and it is not your call that what you have to do. It is the call of the PI consultant. There is a separate consultant called PI. What he does is he will take your help to tell what fields you have, what fields and what messages you want to map. Then they will map it. Where do you do a credit check? Do you remember that I said the credit check happens at two places. One is at sales order level.
And at delivery.
Yeah, exactly. Sales order and delivery. Now, if you see that in the sales system, your sales order delivery, it happens in SAP. But when you do a billing, the data transfer to SAP Financial Accounting. Okay. The delivery and sales, when it happens, what it does is it updates the credit exposure data, commitment value, commitment type, commitment details in credit segment data of FSCM. The one which is shows in the bottom, SAP Credit Management, is your FSCM. Okay? And this one is your SAP. You see on the top left is called SAP Sales Mesh. That happens, this process happens, these steps will happen in SAP SD module. Where sales order, delivery and billing, it happens in sales SD module. But when a credit check has to happen at the time of creating a sales order, system has to go to the FSCM module of the business partner. In the credit segment, it has to see what is the credit limit. To do that check from sales order, sales and SD module of SAP and FSCM of business partner, it will use this SAP Excel. Okay. Okay, it has to pass the message from here to here. Then from here to here also it has to pass the information. For that we use the XI server. What I said, what is the advanced version of XI is the PI, process integration. Okay, that's the reason you will take the help of, it's not help, they're the part of your team. The PI person is a part of the team. You say that this information has to go to the business partner and the data has to come back in. They'll say, oh, okay. They will activate the sub messages. I will show you those messages, what those messages at a later date. Okay?
Okay.
So now let me explain you this slide before we go further. As a business process in OTC stands for order to cash. OTC means order to cash. This is the cycle of your OTC. First you create a sales order, then you do delivery, then you do billing, then you receive the payment. When you do a billing, an invoice gets created and open item gets transferred to SAP Financial Accounting. Right? Now you'll be able to understand the whole process, how it is. At the time of creation of sales order, the sales order, delivery and billing, the information gets passed to FSCM Credit Management through XI. Similarly, when Financial Accounting, the payment is received, this data also goes and updated in the payment behavior field. Do you remember the payment behavior fields?
Yeah.
The payment behavior fields is this, right? The payment behavior. The payment behavior like oldest open item, highest dunning, last payment. How this data happens? This data happens, is posted from the financial accounting systems. From the financial accounting, you have to run a program called UKM transfer vector. When you transfer that, this data goes into FSCM. We will see that how it happens, what program you have to run. We will not be running it right now, but I'll show you where it lies. Because we have to do certain settings and do transactions also. This is this UKM vectors. UKM vectors payment behavior summary.
Yeah.
When you execute this transaction using this UKM vector, the data from financial accounting to FSCM, the data get transferred. Here you specify for which business partner, for which credit segment it has to get passed. Then the data will pass here. When the data get passed here, it will update the payment behavior field here. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So this is how the data flows. Now
But that is, this is, you don't give like, we have so many customers, and for that we have, each customer have business partners, so they don't do each one. This is like a mass.
No. I'm coming to that, and here's a good question. Do you see this? From this customer to this customer range you will give, and
Okay.
you will execute this program in the background.
Okay.
Okay, you execute in the background, and that happens periodically. You say that in the night you do it, or once in 2 days you do it. In general, in real time, when it happens is, as soon as your lockbox file got processed and manual cash application in that day, whatever you have completed, once that is done, then this program gets scheduled. Okay. Why it has to schedule in that way means, what are the payments that you received today, they should get reflected in payment behavior tab of that particular respective business partner.
Right.
This is the key process. This is the key process. What is the program that you execute in background to update the business partner master data? You need to remember UKM_vector.
Yeah.
Okay, UKM_ transfer and transfer_vector, or you can say, even if you say UKM_vector also, people will understand that. You don't have to say the complete one. Okay, now that's all about your data flow between financial accounting and Excel. So we have seen perform configure to connect UKM to SAP NetWeaver PI. UKM is, what is KM stands for? UKM stands for
Credit
management system. FSCM. Yeah. We don't have the complete meaning, but to have a memory tag and remember, UKM stands for FSCM Credit Management System. Simple. Okay. So these three things are only the documentation. If you want, you can read it, but this just only for the technical standpoint, what it is required for the technical people. Now the credit limit request, enterprise service and web interface for credit request. This is another beautiful feature. Define document class to attach the credit limit request. In SAP, there is a module called DMS, Document Management System. And some of the features is the documents if you would like to attach to the credit limit request. I told you that you remember or not. You have a new customers as well as the old customers. Old customers did for revision of the credit limit, and the new customers will request for a new credit limit. Then when you attach the credit limit data to your manager or a senior manager, depends upon approvals as well as authority in the organization. You have to attach the files and the data and create a link to the to that manager to approve the credit limit request. So when you do attachment, what type of file that you would like to send, that you can specify here. Okay, so it is just only a kind of an assignment. So you can say that this type of attachments can be mentioned in the you can mention in the config settings, so the system will allow to create files and send that particular link to your manager for approval. This is one of other features, so that you have a process of workflow, and the workflow will use this feature. You know workflow?
Yeah.
Yeah, workflow is an approval workflows. In SAP also you have a technical workflows. The same thing that you will define certain tasks and the task will perform, and that particular task get assigned to the another person within the organization, who in turn will review that limit request and approve it. If you approve it or reject it, whatever they can do it. Again, now these are all the baddies. Baddie means business add-ons. These things you have nothing to do, honestly, but you should know that what these are all for and how it is useful. Now, whose role it is means it is the role of the ABAPer. You know ABAPer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is ABAPer? ABAPer is a developer.
Developer.
Yes, a programmer. They will activate this one. They will activate it. Just there is a one field that they say they activate it, and you will not have access for this. And even if you try to do it, it will not allow. You need a ABAPer's access key. Then only they'll be able to activate it. Now, only thing is you should know that this particular badge existed. Then they have to just activate that. This badge is a reading of a credit limit request. This is a change to a credit limit request, creation of a credit limit request, data of a credit limit request, and the search for credit limit request, creation of a credit limit request. This is synchronization as well as the checking, search, and reading functionalities. To activate these two different users within the organization, you have to ask these guys to activate them. And at the same time, within this functionality, if you want to add some more functionality, say, suppose check of the data of a credit limit request, check of the data of credit limit request. If you want to add a little more functionality in this, then you will ask the ABAPer, hey, there is a badge available, can you activate and change the small program means these guys, they will do it. So you need to understand only these labels, but not have what is happening inside this label. Okay. Now, if you would like to know each one of them the more, then click on this documentation. You see that whether that particular feature will be able to provide or not. Use the business add-on in the component of SAP Credit Management. With this badge, you can implement customer-specific adjustments of the enterprise services, credit limit change request. Okay, you can use the following method. The methods are not part of your role. The methods are part of your technical people. Okay, enhancements. These enhancements are part of your technical people. Any question?
No.
Okay. Now coming to web interface request. This configure web service, define status changes, mapping badges for service customers. It is the same with here. The only difference is this is for service customers. You know what is service customers? Consultants and consultant and any legal related, consultant related, implementation consultant, those type of service customers you have. For them you can use this specifically, but you don't have to worry. This you can, when you know this, you will also automatically knowing it.
Oh.
Okay, now web interface for credit limit request means this one you have to take help of your ABAPer as well as the other technical folks. You would not be doing it. What it does, suppose in the organization there is a chance that some of the users are using SAP very limited. For them, you don't want to provide any license cost to the SAP. Every user goes with a license cost, right? So to provide them a license cost means they may use all the modules, use one or two transactions. To minimize the cost, what SAP does is you can go with an external application, like if you want to have a request and you want to send the request using the web form, then you can integrate the web form with this particular module, so that you can use you can configure the web services and you can create a web interfaces for approving of the credit limit request. These are all intranet, within the organization. They can log in on the web and they can see the credit limit and they can approve it, which in turn will get updated within SAP. Okay, so to do that configuration also you will be using this particular badges. And again, you need to know only that there is a feature available within SAP that you can raise the request for credit limit, or you can create a new request for credit limit, get it approved by the appropriate manager using the web application. To integrate the web application within SAP, some technical things have to be done. That you would be doing it with your technical folks, and that is not your call. Now you said that what is the role that you have to do? You have to define the layout, how that layout is supposed to be. Okay, how that layout has to be integrated with the customer, that you have to show it to them. How do you show that? Okay, this is the table, this is the field of the business partner. Then your technical guys, they will do it on their own. It is useful for you exclusively during preparation of a functional specification. Did you get chance to go through a functional specification during FI training?
Say it again.
Did they tell you how to prepare a functional specification?
I
Okay.
don't know.
I'll show you before end of our training how a functional specification look like and what you have to prepare if you go to the business. I told you, right, rise up reports, interface, conversions, extensions or enhancements and forms. For these are the developers' work. The developers have to develop a technical object based on the functional specification you write. When you write a functional specification, you should know what table, what field, what logic it is. There is a template SAP provided that I will share with you before end of our FSCM training. Okay? Yeah. Up to this, I will stop here today. Then we will see the rest of the configuration. Once we are done all this configuration, then we will see that how the data get updated in the master data, because you have to assign the credit management here. Then we also have to assign the values in the credit profile. Okay, we have to assign these values in the credit profile. Then only we will see that how it will go. Because we have to complete certain configuration. These things we have not done it, but certain things we will do it. At certain things we will use the existing one. Okay. So what we covered so far today: master data, business partner, credit limit check, credit limit request, credit limit check, credit exposure update. Sorry, we are not this one. We are seeing only the master data. Within the master data, credit segment, defining a rating procedure, define a customer credit group, defining a farmers, creating rule for scoring and credit calculation, risk classes. These things we have seen today. Okay, and certain things in business partner and credit limit request. Right?
Yeah.
So I recommend get your access. If you don't get access, I recommend if you want to skip, we can skip a session, or if you are okay, you can continue the session, because at least you keep looking into the menus as well as path. That is important. What did they say about your access?
No, it should. I just have to call them. It's fine. It was working, and today I tried to connect, and it says it's not reached. So,
okay.
It should be working. I'll give them a call.
Okay, and get it. In case if there is a problem, let me know. You should at least know the creation of a business partner initially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise what happens? SAP you'll forget easily. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the reason why I prepared slides for my students is, at least by looking into the screens and looking into the slide, they'll be able to understand what actually they are. I prepared even, transaction codes. It's very difficult to remember these transaction codes, but I prepared the transaction codes by module wise also.
Okay.
Because it's easy to remember. If you don't remember, it is difficult to execute. Customer sometimes says during the workshop, is it possible? You are sure 100% no, it's possible, but to execute it, you may or may not be able to remember these transaction codes. So from that standpoint, I prepare the transaction codes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely look at the screen so far what we did in the session.
Exactly. Exactly. So these are the important transaction, the credit management. These are the important transaction, the collection management. You will have some more in dispute management. Okay, so I'll let you know that. I will update it and I will share with you during the training. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions?
No, that's it.
Do you think that I'm going too speed?
No. I think I will slow you down when I don't understand.
Very good. That's well and good. That really makes. Okay. Thank you then. Thanks for your time. You have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.